So the first part of this question was a couple weeks ago. It was, which party member do you trust the most? This one is, which party member does your character trust the least?
Gogmert.
Ephixa.
What about Emanuele and Ris'sh?
Now, Gogmert invited you to his home, Emanuele, so I expect a good answer.
Just thinking.
And I mean, the easy answer would be Gogmert because he's both new and the Goblin.
And there are some goblins that there's the toad liquor goblins that your people probably had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Which just the name alone kind of brings up probably what they're all about.
To be fair, Gogmert doesn't like them either. We've established that.
I would also like to point out that trust can also imply, necessarily not say that if you like or dislike them, it means that you can depend on them. Like, even if I like Gogmert as a person, he is undeniably a more chaotic factor than Emanuele.
Oh, for sure.
Just think about that. It's like, guys want to get high and scream in the swamp?
Looking for a book.
But seriously, Emanuele, it's okay if the answer's Gogmert.
It's not. It's actually going to be Lucilla. And here's why. It's purely from a military standpoint. Gogmert has definitely shown that he and his animals can hold their own on a battlefield. Lucilla has blundered into a couple of things. Not that she's a bad combatant. She's definitely willing. But he has the least trust in her from a military standpoint.
That was a fun choice of wording, considering what the ability that allows her to apply Dex or AC everybody else is basically by blundering into them.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was very well said.
And it definitely has nothing to do with the fact that I'm an educated peasant who believes in democracy and you're a noble.
No, I like your answer, Emanuele. It was very nuanced.
Yeah, it was good. I'm just giving you shit.
Okay. So last session found you all leaving the Misgivings, otherwise known as Foxglove Manor. You had found a few clues kind of to lead you to towards Magnimar. One being a few cages with dead, diseased rats inside that had the name Pug's Contraptions, and underneath it, like Magnimar as like basically the location of where Pug's Contraptions was. You found a letter that after you had disposed of Aldern, talking about how returning to his townhouse at Magnimar, my agent shall contact you soon. No need to bother the brothers further. Signed, Zanesha, Mistress of the Seven. You all return to Sandpoint to rest and recuperate, as well as regain your strength from a myriad of different diseases everyone had gained. Whether it be they fought it off or not, I imagine just your body fighting that stuff off, you guys needed some rest. Though the end of your rest was bookended by at first a strange appearance from Amiko in Emanuele's bedroom, who then her form shimmered into a humanoid creature with constantly shifting features with no solid appearance of its own, as well as two masked, hooded would-be assassins in the room of Lucilla, Ris'sh, and Ephixa. You managed to fight them off, killing one of the assassins as well as the creature, as well as knocking the other assassin unconscious and having him hauled away. After some conversation and some body movement and cleanup, so you found new rooms to rest in. You all had to go to separate rooms this time because all the rooms that had multiple beds were full or bloody. Ephixa awoke with a start to her bird Yukai pecking at her head, and when you woke up, you heard in the voice I pictured in my head for this is the guy who played in Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh,
Walt?
The one that
Oh,
played the main character and then
He's
the
Walt in
dad.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah. I know you're talking. Brian Cranston.
Yes.
Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
I picture Bryan Cranston's voice coming out of this tiny little bird. Which is
That's
hilarious in its own right. And he says, everything is wrong. We need to talk. And that's where we ended. So, picking up where we left off, Ephixa. The bird said that and is still picking at your head.
She would sit up and just kind of look at the bird, just more confident than not that she's hallucinating right now. What? Talk about what?
And like it stops pecking at you, like, wait, you heard me this time?
Yes.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! You see it like fly out of the room, out of the window. For a couple, like you kind of like just sit there in stunned silence for a minute, like 1 minute, 2 minutes. It flies back in. You can really hear me this time.
Yes. I mean, I'm answering you, so...
Oh, thank God. Y'all fucked up.
What?
Everything is wrong. And, it, like, its words keep not repeating, but, like, it starts babbling about different things you don't really understand at first as it's talking, like, a mile a minute.
Fix would kind of reach out. You know, at this point, she would normally put her hand on somebody's shoulder to calm them, but then realize it's a tiny bird, so then put a finger on its shoulder. I think. Just kind of that awkward, like, what am I doing?
Yeah, as you do that, like, it's like in the middle of talking about how humans always have a way of causing issues for the divine, and when you put your finger on its, like, shoulder-ish area, it's like, oh, wait, to the right, I have an itch. And you kind of scratch, he's like, okay, I think I'm okay. So, everything has been wrong for so many years. Nualia, your not even brother, everything is wrong.
Wait, what? Hold on, what? That?
I should start from the beginning, shouldn't I?
Yes, please.
The two of you weren't the only two that were supposed to arrive here. There was another divinely gifted individual that was supposed to arrive here in Sandpoint with you all. You were all meant for specific gods as a basically celebration of the forming of the prismatic ray pantheon. You can roll religion for your character to know what this is, by the way.
Okay.
This is the union of the gods Shaylin, Desna, and Saren. They are a pantheon that are often worshipped at the same time or together.
Mm-hmm.
And with that role, you also know that there are rumors of the divine that they are in a polyamorous relationship. It's like a really weird contention with divinity at the moment, where people aren't sure if it's actually real or it's just some crackpots talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, they are very commonly worshipped together. And he's like, You were not meant for Saren Ray. You were supposed to be a gift to the town from Shaylin. Nualia was clearly meant for...
I'm trying to remember who Shaylin is.
The god of art and beauty.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The one that has the bird as its symbol.
Mm.
It's like, Nualia was still meant for Desna, but the priest that raised her just did everything so wrong. And your brother, he was lost before he even arrived, as someone abducted him from a boat on its way towards Parisia. We have yet to find any connection to him, but that's beside the point. Humans and their ability to mess with the divine, there is nothing that ever goes right anymore. So, and he basically explains that his spiritual his true form is, I can't remember what the divine is for that is tied to Shaylin for some reason at the moment right now, even though I had it written down and I can't find it.
What a line?
There's a specific outsider that's
the specific one. All right.
Yeah, but it's like an outsider that's not the... I have to go look this up. It's going to bother me if I don't.
See, it's a sign that I played.
I think they are the Azadas.
Oh, yeah.
The ones associated with chaos and good. So like, so I don't know. And he talks to you a little bit about like how growing up he was always trying to pull you towards the whole like issue that was going on with Nuali as he knew it was going on, but no matter how he tried to, he couldn't get you to understand him. And being in this form that wasn't his original, it was frustrating. And it has some. It's very appropriate that a bird this colorful has such a colorful vocabulary when he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of swearing, a lot of slang that you wouldn't expect from a divine bird.
Mm.
He's like, so we have already lost one, but we cannot lose another. You need to do whatever you can to stop Nualia from what she's doing, and with all possible hope, redeem her. But I do not know. I am frankly at a loss. I saw her when you fought her last time. Bitch is crazy.
Yeah. Do you know what Father? Who was the one that was guiding her?
Let me go back to my notes real quick. I actually do have this written down. Tobin, Father Tobin.
Did Father Tobin intentionally or accidentally push her in that direction?
Accidentally. Again, humans don't have the best track record ever since, we don't have to get into it. Anyway, prophecy and divinity and stuff don't really work the same way it used to. And we had hoped that bringing them, all of you, to Sandpoint would bring good to the region and hope. But this man was overzealous and overprotective for a man who worshipped a traveling god. And everything went wrong. It's just all bad. Then she got pregnant when she was like right on top of a Lamashtu shrine. Gave birth to a demon baby. Demon baby was burnt in front of her. It's all bad.
That's wow. I mean, obviously, I knew she got pregnant, but on a shrine, on a wow.
In fact, yeah, you remember back like a couple months ago when you and your friends went down to, and he like talks about how when you guys went below Sandpoint and into those tunnels and into that area with the closet and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the closet door, there was that shrine with the trickling water.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, that's the shrine. The shrine with the unholy water that can sully and corrupt people.
Who is the father?
Just some guy from what we understood. You would know, by the way, Fix, that you had all had found a diary written by Nualia when she had made her quick escape. And it did talk about how she had found her former lover and killed him. He was some guy that was living in Magnimar. Typical bard kind of mentality, if you will.
I resent that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how you're saying this is a mess, because damn.
Like, and he's like, and be aware, the fact that you chose Saren Ray isn't a bad thing. It was just not what we planned, and the whole thing is just so messy.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, am I supposed to shift over to Shaylin now, or?
No, they all kind of, again, they're a pantheon. Their worshippers can come and go. And I've seen you say prayers to other gods, but you follow the one, excuse the bad terms, religiously. So it's fine. It's just we really need to stop her from going full demon.
I'm trying. I want nothing more than to redeem her. If not to follow, the righteous path, to stop following the one she's on. I just want her to be happy. And clearly she's going down one that's definitely not.
Also, I'm glad you're going to Magnimar because you need to meet new people. The undead craziness that was just going on, like, aside from the fact that the guy was creepy as hell, I was also almost killed by a ghoul bat.
Yeah.
That kind of sucked.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't get there sooner and didn't notice you take off, but thanks for pointing out this new sword.
Oh, yeah. Now that I can talk to you, it should make things much easier. And probably much more annoying for you. I will not shut up.
I mean, I suppose I could use the extra guidance. Or at least to help look out for creepers. Did you know he was like that when we first went hunting with him?
I knew he was a little creepy, but I don't think he was undead or anything at that point.
Okay. Well, that's good at least. I guess. Oh, there's a lot of news.
Look, I may be divine, but I don't have all-seeing eyes.
Yeah. No, I know.
That comes later.
Wait, what?
What?
Let me know when it does. I'm sure there's plenty of things I'd like to know. So, this brother? Like, are we fraternal or paternal siblings?
Brother is more of a very term, like implying brother as in all three of you came from different people and cultures and we're going to be sent here to the cathedral to be raised together, as in brother, not biological.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
The only thing we've been able to find out about him is he was apparently being raised by a madman or something. I don't know.
But so he is still alive, just being raised by some lunatic that.
From what we can gather, we've lost contact with him altogether, which implies that he might have sided with some other divine being, and he is not within our sight.
Do you at least have a name?
I do, and actually, let me check my notes again, because my notes are a hot mess.
I like to picture the bird now, searching under its feathers. I know I put it here somewhere.
I would also just like to point out that 2 of the 3 people that were supposed to be dedicated good gods went rogue, and they're like, "Oh, it must be the humans' fault. Maybe you just suck at your job."
Yeah, and who is this we? Is there like a group of birds controlling the world?
I think it's there. Well, it's a divine being dedicated to.
You're not allowed to know about the Corvinati.
A black bag materializes over your head and you get whisked away.
Anyway, he tells you his name from what they know is Jonah. Also, just to make sure that this is made clear out of character and stuff, this is foreshadowing to my character in the second Darkness campaign. So just to save you guys the headache for it later on. Because I want to start foreshadowing stuff now.
So not appearing in this game.
Yes.
No, we're going to seek out your character and kill them.
I mean, that's cool too. I can
Right
make another one
now.
that's not tied in.
You've created
This
a
is
time paradox.
This is basically, I was just telling you now to kind of save headache because of it. But I feel like this is a good way to kind of incorporate some kind of connection between some characters as we progress.
Yeah.
I see.
That's cool.
You're using this entire game to build up a platform for your character in another game.
Yep.
No, not all the game, just this one conversation.
And that's just how I get to play Ephixa in that game. High leveled and all.
Show up later on when no, you see, when your character dies, she shows up and is trying to rear him toward the non-apocalypse god.
There you go.
I mean, hey, the character I was going to play for the Pathfinder one-shot was going to be a relative of a character you guys are going to meet in Curse of the Crimson Throne, so...
I mean, the character I was going to play in those Pathfinder one-shots was a literal time wizard, so anything's possible.
Yeah, I use this also as a point to bring it up because it's also a good idea to kind of like incorporate stuff. Like if any of you all ever have ideas for like stuff like that as we progress, whether it be in your own APs, other people's APs, my APs, it'd be a good thing to mention to kind of tie in like chronological like things and connections of some kind or another.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was gonna be definitely doing some foreshadowing for Strange Aeons during Curse of the Crimson, not Curse of the Crimson, during Carrying Crown, because they start in the exact same nation, so it's actually possible.
Yeah, this is also my segue to bringing that up and stuff too. So,
Okay.
but yeah, he basically during the conversation he tells you not to worry about him as they have no way to like figure out how to recover him from the darkness or whatever. But during the conversation, it is very clear that Nualia is paramount to try to redeem as, again, being a divine being herself in one way or another.
Mhm.
Having them fall to Lamashtu would be seen by a lot of evil creatures if she, were to propagate the knowledge as a win for evil,
Mhm.
which is never good for anybody.
Yeah, we
Starting to think that there's, just as you guys had a, or whoever powers that be had a plan to have the three of us here, likewise you have others that are acting to acquire them for other needs. I mean, two out of the three of us have been waylaid in that ambition, and that seems, I don't know if it's coincidental or design, which is even more unsettling.
Yeah, either one doesn't bode well. So let's try to do our best to not have it go bad and sideways.
I'll definitely do what I can. Really don't want to lose Noali again.
Yeah. And then, segueing out of that conversation, I imagine a lot of it after that would kind of devolve into you asking questions about your... because you've had this bird for quite a long time at this point. Just probably asking questions about the whole ordeal and how long has certain things been happening and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would just kind of devolve into conversations about that kind of stuff that is neither here nor there, but it'd probably be good for like Ephixa to kind of get out and discuss with somebody who has seen it and was there.
Mhm.
But the rest of you all wake up. Breakfast is served. Amiko serves a nice stew, and she's like, "It's assassin surprise," and kind of winks.
too soon. I throw a cup.
Way too soon. Way too soon for Emanuele. That's the first time he's ever had a woman in his bedroom, and it went just about how he thought it would.
Fix would just kind of look around like, did she just imply that we're eating people?
Roll a sense motive.
Gotta do something with the bodies, right?
Fix, give me your cup.
That even with she has plenty of modifiers for bluff. Yeah, you think you're eating people now.
I think I'll go check on Juan.
Gogmert, not slowed down at all.
In fact, even goes to take Emanuele's plate.
Meanwhile, Amiko kind of just leans down to Lucilla and is like, they didn't think my lie was real, right?
Oh no, they're totally buying it.
I'm both shocked and appalled and excited.
Yeah. It is too soon. It is too soon now.
And just kind of shrugs and picks up the cup.
Hey, can I see that for a second?
Sure.
I'll throw it at her. Honestly, you had that one coming.
It hits her. Okay, I deserve that. So you throw it again, I'm making you pay for it.
Yeah.
Goes back to entertaining the morning crowd, which is rather small because you seem to think a few people probably went to sleep at other taverns or saloon or inns in town after the night attack of assassins.
What, you mean people don't like the fact that there was assassins in here last
You see a couple people shift over a table.
Yeah.
It's interesting because last time there was assassination, the place was just crowded with people, right? Like the sawmill, everybody was just lining up to see.
That was a serial killer. That's different.
Attempted serial killer is not quite the same.
Well, no. Okay. And let's start getting into this. You see, there's a difference between a murderer, a serial killer, and a spree killer. Now, I'm not going to get into the actual real-life legal definitions, but it's surprisingly interesting.
She knows both in and out of character.
The bonus point, the point is that serial killers usually have a defined MO and methodology. Murderers just kill someone then run away. So we were attacked by murderers at most. An assassin is a word made up by Shakespeare. It didn't exist before him.
I'm not a crazed gunman, Dad. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
The difference is a professional has standards.
And then a spree killer is someone who just tries to kill as many random as people as fast as possible.
I'm kind of concerned how you came across that particular research.
I was reading a World of Darkness book and they defined it.
Ephixa can't tilt her head. World of Darkness?
Oh, sorry. I thought that was out of character. My apologies.
Battle.net 42 million.
Yes, this is game system I've been developing.
Someone get some spackle. I think the fourth wall is whistling at a leak again. Sorry, no, that was out of character. If you ask in character, Lucilla just shrugs.
Oh.
Yeah, when you're talking about these, like the murders and why, all that stuff. Bathana Corwin, the halfling woman that works in the establishment with Amiko, kind of comes up as she's cleaning tables, like, yes, and the people in this tavern usually frequent are out of towners. They're not quite as nosy. She kind of smiles at you all and wanders off. Which, by the way, that's about as much a conversation since you've heard of her since the time she told you about how Amiko was kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't seem a very talkative person.
I lean forward and say to Fix, "Oh, thank Desna she left. I totally forgot her name."
I don't even think she works here.
It was just going to turn into that awkward thing where I was going to be like, "Hey, you." Out of character, I've literally gone an entire semester of college not realizing the names of the people in my group until we had our first presentation.
That's why you just write them on your palm of your hand when you're doing your presentation.
Well, yeah,
me and Frank.
Yeah. It's like 3 months had passed. I'm like, it was way past the point where it was okay to say, I'm sorry, I'm still learning names.
Right. Here, just sign your name on this cover just so we could turn it in. Just watch them as they sign their name.
Like, why can't you just sign the name for me? Oh, yes, of course. How do you spell that?
I don't want to make any mistakes.
Mm.
So, yeah,
With
you all...
It's
Tim. Tim.
Well, I mean, last name, Smith. S-M-I-N.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Tim, spelled with a Y.
Like, my name is Tim Smith. Wow, such an exotic name. How do you spell that?
Yeah.
John Doe. Wow.
Yes, you all are awoken, and you have the day ahead of you. You know that you had plans to set out shortly, but it's up to you when and what day, or if you wish to set out now or tomorrow, however you want.
As soon as possible, I'd say. And Ephixa would say. Ephixa and James.
Yeah, it's best not let the trail get any colder.
Okay. Does anyone do anything before they leave, or they just kind of head out early in the morning? I imagine Ephixa at least would have a few goodbyes.
Yeah, she.
Being as you never really left town this far.
Yeah, she definitely make her rounds, going through from the church and then stopping by the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the library. All right, go ahead.
I was going to say Emanuele's going to send another letter to his Lord General Father and let him know that he is moving on to Magnimar.
Gotcha.
Please send funds post haste.
Okay. So you all gather up your whatever you need possession wise, your whatever you need to make the day's journeys. I'm not going to make you guys buy rations and stuff, and not keeping track of that anyway, because you all are smart adventurers at this point. But yeah, as
Dwarf walks by with a cart and says, "You keep track of your rations."
You guys like that spelling of the word Tim?
Yeah.
Enchanter Tim?
Tim Tam, the Flim Flam. Anyway, yeah, you all kind of get towards the southern exit of the town. It's the same entrance that any of you that came on foot had entered back in the days of the Swallowtail Festival. The big sign that says "Welcome to Sandpoint" is just staked on a big log out there. You all see a Ephixa heading towards you all with a veritable entourage of people following behind her. You see, like, both of her hands have a child holding them, and there's a child holding those children's hands on the other side, to the point that it looks like a flying V of children behind her. You see a couple of the women clerics of the church kind of crying a little bit about her departure, but no one is crying so much as Father Xantus, the one that raised her. He's like, you make sure you have, and like make sure you have your food. You make sure you have a pouch for your money, right? And he's like the entire time he's like sobbing and everything.
she'll be going along with like, yes, I got that. Oh, thanks for lunch, and takes the the lunch bag that is bound to be handed to him.
I lean over to Emanuele and say, I still got a few of those smoke bombs left. Should I give her some covering fire?
No, then the crowd wouldn't be able to see me.
He's like, hold on a second.
Hey guys, I raised an army. Let's do this.
Family aggro. What were you going to say, Michael, before I go on?
I was saying that right now Gogmert, the Goblin ... researcher, is packing up his saddlebags on his cat, getting ready to leave.
Gotcha. Yeah, Ephixa, as like he kind of Xantus kind of coughs and like kind of straightens up to kind of stop crying for a moment. It's like, we've been planning. We knew you were going to leave us eventually, and he's like, he does that thing where he bites his knuckle to stop from sobbing.
I'll be back. I'm just going to Magnimar for a little bit.
You're going on an adventure, and we've had this in stores for quite a long time. It came with you as a baby, but we believe you need it now. And they motion out your horse, who is bespackled in silver and gold armor. To basically, like, if you were to take your horse into combat, essentially, this is +2 barding.
Wow.
It doesn't sell for +2 barding because we don't have the +2 stuff for since bonus progression and stuff. But in terms of if you ever have your horse in combat, it'll be a +2 barding. It sells for like a masterwork one if you actually wish to sell it.
She'll just admire the horse for a while and like, you really did give me a pony when I was younger. You just didn't bring it to me. Still, thank you.
He was about to correct. He's like, well, the pony was yours already, but like, it's like, no, I'm not going to say anything. Well, yes, you were just so enamored with all the other animals, we didn't want to upstage them all.
That's fair. I imagine you guys showed up around the same time. It's all kind of a blur, but yes, thank you.
You just hear from Yukai on your shoulders, like looking at the horse, like, I don't like him.
Why? Can you talk to him too?
He looks shinier than me. It's appalling.
I could see if I could get you some shiny armor.
He's like, good.
Emanuele looks down at Juan's armor and thinks, he needs to buff this more regularly.
I wonder how many
I
of those
thought we only had
orphans.
one goblin in the party.
I wonder how many of those orphans you could have fed with that armor.
At some point, since we've given the bird the voice of Bryan Cranston, he has to proclaim that he's the one who pecks.
Well, there goes my multi-session plan there. Could have him turn into a giant bird one day and be like, I am the one who pecks. No. You all are all gathered. You kind of start riding away as they're all like saying goodbye to you all. Manuel's on his horse, on a snake. Gogmert's probably riding one of his cats at this point. Ephixa and Ris'sh are on full-size horses, and Lucilla is on probably like a pony, I imagine.
Yeah, I still have that same pony. I don't like it, but I have it.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than having nothing, right? You can always buy a dog in Magnimar.
And they couldn't have gotten me like a feral boar or something badass, like a pony.
Feral boars are hard to train.
You have to raise those yourself.
It's like a crouching horse. It's.
I can take care of it if you want me to.
I mean, maybe later. I'm using it right now.
Maybe you could ride one of Gogmart's felines.
I don't know. I don't think that would end well for me.
He's not so bad to ride horse once used to it.
You look over at Ephixa and she's just kind of leaning over and hugging her new horse.
God,
horsing.
It's like she's from a fairy tale and doesn't know it.
That's perfect.
Gogmert goes, yeah. As we're traveling down, Gogmert goes, yeah. I guess the horses are big and all, but look at this. Then he sprints 500 feet on the cat in a charge action.
You see, that's what I mean. This thing's just leaving a trail of shit. Look, and it's just like every 10 yards there's
Still
just
in there.
because it's a horse. It's not that I'm not used to horses. They had them on the farm and everything all the time. But I don't know. The cows were nicer.
Agreed. I'm not a big fan of horses.
Looks at the snake. I never would have guessed.
Horses eat a lot. Often.
Okay.
And have you ever had one step on your foot? Hurts like hell.
And thus the travel montage commences.
So if someone could actually roll me a D100.
I'm on it. Tips.
Emanuele doesn't travel like that.
89. That's the best number on the table.
No, you need to get subtract by 20. Nice. Yeah, the day itself is rather uneventful. You make your way down the path. You head towards the Lost. You head down the Lost Coast Road. You eventually, before you settle in for the night, as the sun's beginning to set, you begin to see the just very small details of the mush fens that make up the southern side of the Lost Coast Road on your way to Magnimar. Ris'sh, you know the mush fens well as you grew up in them. Probably not near the edge, but you know of the regions.
The Lost Coast Road, this one or this one?
Lost Coast Road is this one going down here.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You all make camps for the night. I assume you set up watches.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just put in chat who's watching when.
I would say Fix will take second since she has dark vision.
Fair. I guess I'll take first. Last then, 'cause I don't have dark vision.
Gogmert will take third, then he also has dark vision.
Take last watch.
Okay. I'm just getting this out of the way now for the next couple days because it's going to be a 3-day travel.
That's why I had like the handout in the other one.
I'm probably going to make a handout come next game or next book.
Yeah.
But this is really the only traveling you guys have done, other than like maybe a day-long travel.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, who said they were doing first watch?
Suppose I'll be on it too if there's only one.
I figured you guys would split up between like 3 watches or something.
Mm.
A couple people on 2 of them, and then one person on 1 watch. Okay, so excuse me again. The night does pass this night without issue. You awaken to a slight mist in the air. It's very light fog, just enough to obscure vision past maybe 100 feet out. Nothing like major. But being this close to marshlands and everything, it's bound to happen early in the morning. If anything wants to have anything they're doing that during the travels or during night rests or anything, just let me know.
Emanuele would keep up his morning prayers.
It's a good morning for travel. It make it harder to be seen.
If we don't get too close to those marshes, we might get bogged down. Yeah. Just silence proceeds over the camp. Listen, I try really hard, guy.
So, going into the second day, if I could have someone else roll a D100.
On it.
Very close.
It's in the high 80s today. Bit muggy here in the bog.
Oh, that would be insane if temperature was determined by D100.
Funny enough, the mist does thicken as you travel. You push forward through the day. You actually wind up having to stop early in the day, as when the sun starts setting, it makes the fog feel all that much more thick. So you have to kind of set up camp early to avoid the night encroaching and making it harder to set up camp. However, it doesn't seem to draw out any angry beasts or anything. You do have the second night without issue.
Yeah, and I'm start prepping alarm starting this morning. Should last through the night at this point. It's 14 hours dismissible.
Yeah, that would last easily through the night. Yeah, at this point you're actually on the stretch of the Lost Coast Road that is like right adjacent to the mush fens. You hear the occasional animals, kind of like that thing where like an animal's foot will step into the moist ground and it'll make that weird sucking sound as it pulls it out. Nothing gets too close. Seems most of the things around right now are a little bit afraid of humanoids. But the sun rises. It's still foggy, but it's gotten back to the light fog. And I can get another D100 from y'all. Can we get another 80?
Watch it be a natural one.
If nobody else is going to roll it, I'll do it again. Oh, hey!
It's even a consistent trend downward.
Right.
Okay, so everybody, as you traveling, the fog kind of permits, and you feel a drop, followed by another drop, and you're like, "Oh, great, rain!" And then you see a flash of lightning, and you hear it, and it's very close as a sudden storm begins to pick up. I need everyone to, as during this day of travel, make me a fortitude save.
Oh my goodness! I didn't expect. That's my lowest save. Wow.
Yeah. So you all managed to resist the majority of the issue. None of you become fatigued. However, or none of you become exhausted or anything else. Though, Ris'sh, you do take a -2. I think that's the fatigued condition in Pathfinder, if I remember correctly, on most rolls.
Come on now, it's just a bit of rain. Certainly you've been bird hunting in foul weather before.
Yeah, foul.
But yes, as the third day comes to a close, you know that sometime tomorrow you should be arriving at least near the city of Magnimar. You all kind of prepare yourselves for that, as it's going to be the first time for many of you in a big city, let alone some of you that's been quite a long time since you've been in a big city.
I gather around the campfire with everyone and go, all right, do this. Let's get this out of the way now. Place your bets. City's going to be under siege. There's going to be a serial killer on the loose. Mystic prophecies coming to the fore. What do you think? Everyone place your bets.
I would say serial killer, since one of them's called the Skinsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
Seem safest bet.
Yeah, none of you are feeling bold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with ghosts.
So I did realize a fuck up that we did. Is last session you guys said you wanted to go question the assassin you guys had captured?
It's fine.
To just kind of resolve things, when you went to go check on him, he swallows one of his teeth that turned out to be poisoned.
I told them to keep an eye on him.
Like we did. We watched him. Like he didn't do anything. He just glared at us and gritted his teeth.
I just imagine like a flashback where it's just like two guards 3 feet away from him on the other side of the bars, sitting there with drinks as he like punches himself. And they're like, oh shit, I think he's swallowing a tooth. They say completely calmly. Oh, he's foaming up. Did he poison himself? Yeah, I think he poisoned himself. Oh no. Takes a drink of tea. Just keeps watching.
Oh no. Anyway,
back to the current story. Sorry, I just thought of it when we were talking.
Are you sure it would have been funnier to be like, weren't we supposed to interrogate that guy? And then he's just still in the cell waiting. He's just going to be there forever.
No, eventually they'd kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's nothing else for the night, you all arise. No D100s needed on this day, as it takes you maybe a couple hours before you begin to see a new sight. On the western edge of Varisia, there's the southern reaches of the Lost Coast Road, near the swampy expanse of the Mush Fens and the coiling length of the Yondabakari River. You see a stark and dramatic end as the in the shadow of a limestone encarpment that juts from the cliff. You see Magnimar, long thought of as a resting spot for celestials and messenger angels. It is upthrust, this massive stone that is sticking out of the city itself is what is known as this ruin known as the Giant's Bridge, a causeway that juts out nearly 400 feet, with ruins piling extended farther out, giving the unmistakable impression of ancient grandeur, that be it at the point at which angels descended from the heaven to bless their wards, as it is. Today, this is known as Magnimar, the City of Monuments. And let me go to the map layer.
That is a bridge.
It's part of a bridge.
Mm-hmm. So as you can see, this is
insane.
an artistic rendition of Magnimar. As I can probably take this little flag off.
See, some say that's a bridge too far. I think it's a bridge not far enough.
I mean, it crosses all the way across, so I think it's just far enough, at least.
It actually doesn't. You only see the jut out about 400 feet before you just see rubble below it.
Oh, nope, I was wrong.
But yeah, you all...
Big human village. Strange. You think they would have broken off and started infighting by now?
Oh, no, they do that. There's just a lot more. Well, because there's neighborhoods, and then the neighborhood culture of those neighborhoods. Then you get street gangs and criminal organizations, and improv troops.
I know you guys don't watch it. Just makes me think of the first campaign of Critical Role, because there's this Fade that they meet, and they're like, "We should go to the theater." He's like, "No theater."
Yep.
And every time he says that, they bring it up more, and he's like, "No." Anyway, I assume you all keep making your way. You don't stop to just admire the scenery too much.
No, we sit here for 2 months.
You all grow old and die in 2 months. It's amazing.
Yeah, we go in.
All right, so what's the next AP?
Done and done. Here's the Scripts of Throne. Let's go.
Yeah. As you come to the gate of Magnimar, you're coming over the edge. If on the map, you can see like right over here, this bridge here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bridge because that's just more city, but it's on that direction. Mm-hmm. You see the gate to Magnimar is closed as there are city guards at watch. If you all would like to make a perception or a sense motive.
Oh, man.
All right. Let me see.
Perception. Yeah. 30.
Give me just a second. Okay, yeah, perception's gonna be the better one.
Okay. So, Gogmert and Lucilla, these guards look very on edge and more alert than what you would normally expect of guards. Gogmert, you're used to just seeing the guards in Sandpoint. These ones are like that kind of thing where if someone makes too much noise that they're not expecting, they already have their weapon at the ready and they're turning to inspect what's going on.
A little skittish for such a large village.
That might be why they are skittish.
I think it's just good training. Always be ready.
There's trouble afoot.
Yes, could be related to why we came here.
Mark my words. By my grandpappy's toe hairs. There's something going on.
As you all approach, you see the one that seems to be in charge hold up his hand. He's like, "Everyone stop. You can stay right there. We need to inspect any cargo or any packaging you have before you can enter the city."
Yep.
Is there a long line?
There's a couple people kind of loafing around that are being like, you see a couple of merchant carts that like wagons that have been like unloaded, and there's some people searching in it, but it doesn't seem like there's a line like anything. It's just a lot of people are just waiting to have their carts inspected. But since you guys are like just traveling by yourselves without any extra packaging, it seems like they're just doing the efficient thing and just seeing you guys through first.
Express land.
Very good. Emanuele will ride right up and hop down and say, Emanuele Depardieu of Maltha. And these are my companions.
The guy kind of side-eyes you. Sergeant Cadron. And he's like, motions to some of his men to kind of look over any the saddlebags or anything. And he kind of looks you all over and is kind of like walking around you guys. Kind of looks heavily at a couple things.
Really hoping they don't ask him to take off his hat.
He's like, hold on a second. I need to go grab some paperwork. And he kind of saunters off into like a side office like door that goes into the gatehouse.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Paperwork.
It takes about 15 seconds before he comes back out, and you see him accompanied by about another 6 or 7 guards as he yells, "Now!" And the guards appear to draw swords and cock crossbows and aim them at you.
All of us?
All of you. And he's like, he now says, "You are all under arrest. Place your weapons on the ground, slowly. Any spellcasting will be met with deadly force."
Vix would comply.
There must be some kind of...
Could she... oh, no. Detecting evil would be casting a spell, wouldn't it?
In their eyes, probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Gogmert would grab Lucilla's sleeve and say, "Is the human custom to surrender?"
Traditionally, yes.
Temporary hero point for that. For both of you. It's this one session only hero point.
Okay.
It's an extra one, which is worth it. But yeah, he's just waiting for you all to comply.
I start throwing my whip and short sword and dagger on the ground, and I say to Ephixa, "For the record,
you throw your dagger on the ground, it goes back to your belt."
Technically, it only comes back to me if I spend the free action to call it. So no.
You do it out of habit. It's just too funny.
Okay, fix it. I'm just saying, if this is because of a serial killer, I still don't owe you any gold because we're getting arrested for it.
Okay, Gomert starts taking off the stuff he's got on him, which admittedly is a dog slicer and a...
Emanuele, when you go to try to like talk to him and stuff, you see a crossbow he's carrying. He fires it at your feet, like not enough to get close to you to shoot you or anything, but to show you that he's like means business kind of attitude. He's like, "Weapons on the ground."
Well, as he's taking off his belt with his sword, he'd say, "That's a fairly bad move. I could easily approach you in the time it would take to reload that crossbow. Granted, your men may take me down, but always think about these things ahead of time. As a trainer of men myself, I find that it's best to always anticipate..."
One of his men tackles you.
How many were there?
Including the I think 6 people that were outside already. He brought out another 7 more.
And as you're doing that speech, Cope, I was looking at your character portrait, and that's just perfect. That whole smug, well, you see, just definitely a perfect image you have for him.
So you rolled a 20 and got a natural 20. I'm not sure what that.
I'm thinking if I should have called high or low before. Well, when they go to tackle Emanuele, I'm gonna risk invisibility and run away. So whatever they're gonna do.
They all had ready to action to shoot you to try to interrupt your spellcasting.
Mm-hmm.
So let me look up the stat line for a guard real quick.
Come on, Ris'sh. I mean, I could also cast Euphoric Cloud and Thorny Entanglement once they use all these actions.
Mm-hmm.
These are going to be 3 attacks.
And that's a spell combo that sounds like it would awaken something in someone.
Hey, you got them all dazed. And then,
So I don't think any of those hit you.
Yeah, no, my base AC is 18 at the moment.
So yeah, as they all, as I just picture you go invisible as they're flying at you, and they all just, fly through the air and hit the ground. And as this happens, and you hear a bunch of shouting beginning. You see another man come out of there, out of the quarters, or the office-looking door, And he's like, "What the nine hells is going on here, Sergeant Cadron?" And as he says that, the guy that had told you were under arrest kind of stiffens a moment, but doesn't say anything and looks back and it's like, doesn't say anything. He just kind of points at Ephixa at her hand. Ephixa, you look down, you see your shield ring that has the 7-pointed star on it.
Oops.
Whoops.
It's like, if any of you have the ability to call your friend back, I promise you're not under arrest. Sergeant, you did well, and you'll be commended for your call to arms and your attention to detail. But trust me, these people aren't what we're looking for.
Listen, all I'm saying is I don't know what your local ordinances are, so any alchemical substances you found in my bag are purely coincidental.
We have an alchemist school here. We understand that.
Okay, well, just making sure.
He basically shoos the guards to go about their business, and he comes up to the 4 of you now, as one of them Zoidberged away.
She'll just swim up through the bay later.
I'm sorry about that bit of confusion. I hope you're not too troubled. The guards have certain orders they need to obey at the moment.
Yeah. One of the reasons I came here was hopefully trying to unload this item that we got adventuring. But something tells me there's not going to be much of a market for it, huh?
He kind of looks around. He's like, if you all want to come to my office, we can discuss the matter more fully out of hidden ears.
Is it ghosts?
I don't think so.
Damn.
So haven't had your fill on ghosts yet?
I pass a coin over to Fix.
So yeah, he offers.
Thank goodness Ris'sh ran away.
Yeah, Ris'sh, I imagine, just hightailed it out of here, or what?
I got 7 minutes. Once they don't know where I am, I'll probably sit at the end of the bridge watching.
She's just going to sneak into the next campaign.
I was going to say, she's just like, I have no ties to these people. I'm out of here.
Okay, so you sit at the bridge for a little while, but the rest of you, he does offer to take you into his office to speak if you wish.
Fix would definitely want to know what's going on.
I assume I can grab my stuff again.
Yes, please pick up any of your possessions. I don't expect any of you to make any more trouble than pretty much any other people in the town.
Ideally, less so, but
I know we have a lot of
he
wizards
says that
like
to
to
the
explode
adventurers who came in with the giant snake and 2 cats.
It's like, the amount of noise that comes from the golem works, I don't even believe that they know what they're doing. They're just blowing things up until things work. So, anyway, come. We can discuss things in privacy.
I would hope that with that I could see that they're kind of gathering their stuff and not being arrested, as we've seen people get arrested back in Sandpoint.
Oh, no, yeah, you can tell that they're not getting arrested anymore.
Also, you all have bonded mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's only
You
have
got
a range
some
of
scene, I
like.
think.
They don't know that I'm
Yeah.
sitting probably on a pillar or something.
And it's like 60 feet away, and you have to see them. So yeah.
We look at the top of a pillar. Ris'sh is up there, powering up a fireball, spirit bomb style.
Then you realize that. I just picture like Ris'sh doing that, and then seeing you all not being in prison is like blue balled again, and the fireball just reduces again.
Just for fun, I'm a stealth up, try and talk to Lucilla, see what's going on after. Still invisible, but after everyone started moving.
So that's a 45 if you're stealth and if you're invisible, huh?
Yeah, if you're invisible, 45. I can safely assure you that nobody knows you're moving. In fact, they think you've hightailed it clear out of here until you speak to Lucilla.
Is good?
is medium.
We'll stay.
That's
I'll
probably
just follow them until it ends. Like he's halfway through his speech and then Lizard.
Yeah. So as you go into his office, it's not the most comfortable position for this many people. You all kind of like a lot of you probably feel a couple bumps from an invisible source, but you all know
I would like to say, as a revenge for Ris'sh running away and abandoning us, I make a show of like stretching, but I intentionally just like elbow Ris'sh in the stomach harder than you would normally stretch.
But yeah, once you're all away from other people and you're in his office and he shuts the door, he begins to explain that there's been a recent rash of murders in Magnimar. Merchants, politicians, crooked guards, moneylenders, all of them have been showing up dead. Their bodies mutilated, faces missing, chests carved with that same 7-pointed star you carry.
I reach into my coin purse and I pull out a gold coin and I hold it up to the air for Ris'sh.
Coin
sounds like you need to have a display of force there, sir.
Yeah, as you hand the coin, I'll say that's the time that he becomes uninvisible.
Yeah.
You see the lieutenant like, oh yeah, magic.
And she really chameleons into the background, doesn't she?
Yeah. Tensions are very high at the moment, and Sergeant Cadron out there is a young man from an influential family trying to curry favor to advance his career. He's a good enough sort, but he's quick to jump to conclusions and make assumptions.
I know the type.
Yeah.
She resists the urge to look at Emanuele.
Yep. I could tell that about him as soon as I saw him.
Were many similar murder going on in Sandpoint. Same star carved in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you could spare the time, I'd love to hear some of this to help us with our investigations. And he basically
at this point, Fix will go ahead and use Detect Evil.
He is not evil.
Okay.
But Emanuele now is.
Fix will go ahead and go give the cliff notes on their travels and, basically how things played out the past week or so.
Yeah. And you go over about the undead and you go over about Foxglove and everything.
Yeah.
Do you go in about like all the other stuff you found, like the notes as well as the cages and all that?
Fix would use Bonded Mind to kind of question, give inquisitive look to everybody else, basically asking, should we go that far, or...
As you're doing that, Emanuele says, don't forget about the notes.
Notes?
We did find this when we were investigating the haunted manor, and would show the note that kind of mentioned the...
Pugs contraptions?
And you basically have explained that you came here to kind of figure some of the stuff out and everything, I imagine, as well.
Yeah.
You all do seem to be fairly good sorted people, one way or another. And it seems like you don't want people, including yourself, to keep being hurt. I'm on orders not to discuss too much. Anything I've told you so far can be heard pretty much any tavern in the city at the moment. And he, as you kind of talk about the stuff, he kind of he's taking notes of his own, and he's like, well, this is a lot of information I probably should take to the justices of the city. I can't stop you from doing your own investigations, so I'm not going to. I can inform you of where Pug's Contraptions is if you want to actually go and find out where that is. And he talks to you and gives you directions.
Mm-hmm.
Emanuele's going to try a diplomacy and say, now, my good man, we were deputized over in Sandpoint, and I know that's not here or as prestigious as Magnimar, but we helped them quite a lot, and possibly we could help you with your problem. Is there nothing else you could share with us?
Roll a diplomacy. He's like, look, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I can't break the law, but if you wish to find out more or get authority to investigate this without having the guard breathe down your necks the entire time, I would think about trying to contact Haldmir Grobaris. He's the Lord Mayor of the town.
What if we just took wild guesses and he told us if we were right or wrong?
You wouldn't even have to say anything. You could just shake your head up for yes and down for no.
Better yet, write it down on a piece of paper and then forget it on your desk when you leave us here.
Roll me a diplomacy for Lucilla.
I don't honestly expect this to work. I'm just being a little shit. You know what? I'm going to try using that one hero point, the temporary one. Because what the hell?
24.
By the way, our party has a lot of diplomacy. Like, I've got plus 11, you've got plus 10, Manuel has a plus 11.
Diplomatic as fuck.
I'm sorry, I remember just an SNL skit where I heard the other day where it's like, I didn't snitch to the police. They already knew stuff. I just told them they were right.
That's funny.
Ris'sh, 0 bluff, 0 diplomacy.
I'll bite you. What was that mayor's name again?
Haldmir Grobaris. Hold on, I'll type it out.
Beard grow.
Yeah, his family clearly didn't like him enough when they named him that.
Also, contact about collecting on a bounty.
Oh,
we have proof of Red Shiv's demise.
Well, that is the most welcome news I've heard in the past week. I assume you have the proof you speak of.
Of course. Who has the ring? And she would. Yeah. Who has?
You guys would flash the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at it and he examines it a moment. Then he kind of looks over at Fix's side and sees the scimitar on your side. He's like, well, yes, indeed, I can see. Well, whether you were the one dispatched or not, you were the one that brought in the information. And that shall be rewarded. Give me a moment. And he leaves you all in his office for a moment as he just happens to kick a paper out from underneath his desk towards Lucilla.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
I put my big halfling foot on it and crumple up my toes to pick it up without bending down.
Are you still not wearing shoes?
It's a halfling thing. Don't aggress me.
I was trying to enlighten you. I have 13 pair with me.
I will go ahead and bring you guys over to the Magnimar map. It's a very big map.
I'd like to say I was surprised, Emanuele, but I'm really not.
Well, you really have to match your shoes to the day.
Is that why you keep having? Is that why you keep having Juan swallow that chest of yours? Is that where you just keep your storage, your clothes, wardrobe? Just cycle it through every day?
What? No. It's terrible. Those are his breath mints.
But yeah, he returns and gives you the specified amount, which I'm trying to remember what it was.
I think the message board said it was 500 gold.
Yep. So yeah, he gives you the 500 gold. It's like you can keep the tokens as a macabre trophy, I suppose. We have no need for him after you know that he's been departed or dealt with. So. I do bid you a good day, as I need to meet with the lords and ladies of the justices, as they are.
Oh, Captain, one last question. Have you ever heard of the Seven?
And he kind of thinks for a moment. I vaguely remember hearing something about some seven community or some another that were like what's it called? The fucking, it's like a men's club, like a hunter's lodge club. He's like, it was a club of some gentleman, like a gentleman's club of some kind. Seven something. I don't know what it pertains to, but I mean, I've heard of that, but they don't have they're just rumors. I've never heard of like a place they work out of.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're all escorted into the city. You are talked to about, like, unfortunately, we will have to say that we do have a stable for some more exotic animals. We do not allow travelers to travel with their mounts and other. And he kind of looks at the bird and the two cats and the snake. We do not allow them to be traversed through the city, as that can cause problems.
I'm pretty sure those cats are emotional support animals for my friend, though.
Yes, but we haven't legalized that in Magnimar as of yet.
Wow. Okay.
And
Tough luck,
birds
Gogmert.
We are not the most progressive. Well, the bird can fly up and above, but I'm afraid that your land mammals and reptiles will have to be stabled. I will make sure the fees are waived for the trouble that you all had happen to you during this jaunt into our fair city.
I'm sorry, I just had this mental image of they're like, we're not allowed to have animal companions. You're like, even the birds, and we're outside, and behind him, you see there's a bird takes off from a tree, just immediately hit by a net. He's like, no.
Question, is Gogmert disguised?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm assuming when he's not disguised, he says something, because otherwise there's going to be an issue pretty quickly.
You can assume that when we're in populated areas, he is disguised, unless I say otherwise.
Did you say he basically looked like Samwise Gamgee from the animated Lord of the Rings, which just feels like a very racist halfling caricature?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, for Gogmert, keep in mind that your hat of disguise is technically a ring.
Got it.
Oh, that's even nicer then.
Yeah, it is nice, and it's but just keep in mind if you wind up getting multiple rings or something later down the line.
I mean, he's also got that mask, that Skinsaw mask.
Yep. Unless you guys sold all of those, I don't know.
I don't think we sold any of them yet.
Yeah, you just found the two, the not very pleasant masks. But yes, you're all now in the city of Magnimar, the city of monuments, and it is a sight to see. As soon as you enter, even just coming in, the city is bustling of all different shapes and sizes. It is mostly human, dwarven, and elvish to an extent. There are a lot of halflings as well. So, but you do see the occasional odd races. You do see there actually are. This is the first time Ephixa has probably seen quite a bit of Aasimar. Like, they're not like every other person or anything, but if you look into a crowd, you could probably spot 2 or 3. Some of them actually have floating halos. There's a couple that have wings. But it is a very populated city.
Hopefully this means I don't have to worry about people cutting my hair again.
That's why I was telling you when I first met you. It was weird in Sandpoint. You're not the first Aasimar I've met.
Yeah, that's Gogmert right now.
As I said, he's wearing halfling face.
Yeah. But yeah, with a population of 18,000, Magnimar holds, with the majority being humans, about 500 of them are considered other. The rest are a variation of halfling, dwarf, elf, gnome, half-elf, and half-orc. So you can find quite a bit of different things here. And you have been giving the directions to Pug's Contraptions. It's a little hard to find, but it is 80 on the map. So it is quite a ways away.
Well, where are we coming in at?
Well, if you pointed out that the bridge is correctly, we should be over. Oh, we're on that side. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Lost Coast.
Then we're a ways away.
I might have pointed wrong on the map, so that's my bad.
Yeah, so we're actually on top of the cliff then. Let me see here, because I'm pretty interested in finding me that Pathfinder Lodge.
So yeah, the Pug's Contraptions is 80 on the map down over here, like on the other side of the Yundabakari River. And the one you're looking for, Gombo, is relatively closer. It is right here.
Oh, nice. So we practically can see it as we walk in. Oh, my stop's right over there. I point to the lodge.
What's that place?
It's the Pathfinder Lodge.
Oh.
The Pathfinder Society. That's the whole reason, the whole adventure thing, join the society. That's why I came to Visaria.
Oh, okay. You just got waylaid in Sandpoint.
Oh, no, I did that intentionally.
Oh.
I'm an initiate. You have to go on one solo adventure before you're able to become a full society member. And that's why I've been, hold up my journal, taking meticulous notes and then transcribing it into this copy here. Hold up another book. I'm going to be giving the lodge.
So, are we supposed to keep it a secret that we are with you? Or...
No, it's if I remember correctly, Richard, it's like they have like the symbols on the building. It's super public.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
well, no, I'm asking because you said solo adventure, so...
Oh, no, it's fine. It just means an adventure not assigned by the society.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the society digs up information and they can put together teams and supply them for the expeditions. I was just supposed to do one solo to show that I can find my own adventures even without the society.
Okay, that's cool.
But, Ris'sh, were you interested in checking this out? You've always been talking about trying to find, like, more magic and stuff, and Pathfinders are always digging into runes and stuff.
Could be good resource to have, yes.
Well, they take all kinds.
Yeah, I'll follow her over there.
If you guys want to, like, find an inn or something for us, I'll try to catch up with you.
Okay.
What number are y'all at?
12.
12, okay.
So, like, we entered through this gate, so I imagine we're, like, in this square, and I see it, so...
Yeah.
Fix would, as they walk off, Fix would just kind of look around like, I'm already lost. I don't like this feeling.
Oh, don't worry, these big
They're
towns,
overwhelming for Fixa.
they're just like being back at home.
All of Sandpoint could fit in this area.
Pretty much. And all Fix's
I
goals
actually did
already
the math.
gone.
I did the math a little bit before, and yeah, Sandpoint is like that in Magnimar.
This is close to the size of Malthun.
How big is Magnimar?
Wait, no.
I mean, this is accurate in terms of length. I did the math when I made this map.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm wondering if it's actually bigger than Corvosa, in which an entire campaign is set.
Lengthwise, it's 10,000 feet almost. If you go from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're really close with that scale. Nice job.
It took me a while. I kept modifying it by 0.1 or 0.01.
Yeah.
And I finally got it close enough, so I'm like, fuck it. If it's any less accurate, I don't care.
Right. If we're measuring to that degree, we need to take a step back.
Yep.
Or here. This might be a better way to find out how many people live there.
18,000.
18,000.
Gogmert's out there counting.
Yeah, Corvosa's significantly larger.
Oh yeah, Corvosa is a little bit larger. This is the one that's like the fancier of the Varisian big cities. It's not the largest. It's just the most lawful monetary transactions come through it.
At least by population, Corvosa has 50 to 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
How many did you say this town has?
18,000.
Not quite the size of my home capital city of Canarat in Malthun.
Well, now I'm just curious what Almas is.
And just for future reference, because this is going to be basically your hub for buying stuff in terms of treasures, this is the gold limit for magical items. And that's like the gold buying limit.
Oh, crap. What are we going to do, guys?
Yeah,
like anything that costs more than that, you're not going to be able to just buy in this AP probably.
Yeah, Almas back in Andoran, which is the capital, is 76,600.
Now that's a large city.
Yeah, it is a
bustling
capital
metropolis. Have you been there?
This is out of character because Lucilla's walked away. We can talk about this later, but Lucilla spent like half of her childhood until recently coming here in Almas.
Yeah, and Magnimar is known as an academic and tourist attraction. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't quite have the same numbers as like some capitals.
And there are 50, maybe even 60 goblins back at this time.
Yeah, probably conversing with Lucilla about this is like Sandpoint was like 2-3 times as many as tribe, but this is a whole other scale.
This isn't even the biggest city I've been to.
This is made possible because of those farmers, yes?
Oh yeah, well, it's an entire economic system, really. I don't know exactly how the government here, but back in Andoran, it was elected officials with a capitalist quality. But maybe here they're tenant farmers. I don't know.
Yes,
how many villages did they have to raid for all this?
Oh shit! Gogmert is falling.
Yeah, I'm leaving it up to you guys where you guys are going. So I know at least Lucilla and Ris'sh are going to number 12, which is Hydemark Manor.
Mm-hmm. Gogmert, come back. You're going to get in trouble if you take those cats with you.
Oh yeah, your animals are locked up in the stables.
Oh,
so you're going to have to get
right
creative with bringing them along with you.
Is it like right there at the gate or something?
Yeah.
Same with
poor stable hand is terrified now.
Oh no, they have a special exotic animal stable. They're used to this shit. You see this guy who has like more scars than skin left. He's like, oh yep, another snake. Oh, more cats. Great.
Hell, if nothing else, 21 says it's the Lord Mayor's menagerie. Just throw him in the zoo for a little bit.
Why don't I get a mental image that exotic mount section just has one stable that has like an elephant-sized snail?
You see him go to take the cats to be put in the stables, and they're goblins' pets. They're a little wild, and he just grabs them by the back of the neck, like you see like parent cats carry their kittens, and lift them up, and they just go limp. He's like, I think I got it from here. It just
puts them in a stable that has a scratching post.
I hope they got a litter box in there.
I think it's.
I'm just looking to see if any of this catches Gogmert's eye. You said you guys are going to number 12?
Yeah.
Let me see where that is. Let me see if there's anything.
Because there's the menagerie right there.
There's also the question of whether or not you guys would let Gogmert wander off in a city.
I mean, I guess that's kind of up to Fix and Emanuele if Ris'sh and Lucilla are already heading towards.
I can see it now. We come out of the Pathfinder Society, and Gogmert has freed every animal in the menagerie and is leading a rebellion through the streets.
I am the Beast Lord!
He goes riding by backwards on an elephant.
Richard's like, really? They did not say anything about this in the book.
I mean, I have the PDF for Magnimar up for when if anything goes where you guys go. So I'm leaving it up to you guys for this part because I don't want to force you to go any particular spot.
Fix is going to ask around for merchants that deal with magical items.
Okay. They kind of motion towards best way to describe it. This area over here. Mm-hmm. It is the district known as Naos or Naos or whatever. The best. Go ahead and roll me diplomacy to get any more than that, because people are just going to point easily. But you when you ask you don't really think anything of it. You just kind of go up to a nicely dressed individual that turns out to be some noble of some sort or another. And then he's like, "Ah, yes, magical items. That is over in Naos with the new money." Implying that it is the place where a lot of money is interchanged.
Out of curiosity, where's the old money reside?
Why up? And they point up to kind of give you a perspective. It's a little hard to see on this map. You see this line right here? Yeah, that's actually like a cliff. These things are like quite a ways down from here.
If you remember that picture, the bridge that we were talking about is right over here.
Okay. So is this the Cloud District? And
yeah, this is up here is essentially the Cloud District. This is like the new money area, but the old money, that's where you get up here. You get up into the Alabaster District.
Yeah, I was gonna guess that just by reading the names there. Lots of manors and lords and villas.
And there's no way of knowing this, but the underbridge is definitely the shady part of town.
I mean, there's
it's literally shady.
I mean, it's called the Friendly Merchant. That's as reputable of a name as you could get.
Look, the gull, the rat, the harpy, the gecko, the whale, the salmon, the fire pelt, the osprey, the crow, the shark. Did somebody just fucking like animals within here? It's just one guy, and they're like, "Yo, Bill, what animals do you like?" I like whales. I like gulls. Sorry, I'm just having fun.
No, you're good. Yeah, and you do look. There actually are quite a bit. Like I will say, there is different like actual monuments in each area. That if you guys come across, that if you perform certain acts at them, they do give you a temporary boon. But anyway, since
I can hear Loki twitching.
While the rest of you are kind of deciding where you guys are wanting to go or where you want to like find anything, we'll go ahead and jump into Lucilla and Ris'sh heading towards Hyde March Manor. And let me go to that real quick. So many districts. As you approach this building, it is a very nice manor, like an actual noble's manor. And it looks to be like that from a distance, but as you start getting closer, you can tell that there's like, it gives it flavor, the fact that there are like random damages that have been patched up, and while it looks like they've done a fairly well done job patching it up, it still looks like it's been patched up in certain areas. The grounds out inside of the gate are littered with different, like, the grass is a little too tall for what nobles should have. Every now and then you swear you see like a broken dagger here or an arrow that's been lodged into the ground. And the gate's wide open with no guards, which is also a sight to see. Like, even just looking at the houses next door to them, they all have like one or two guards in like the nicer houses. But yeah, it does say like underneath the name of Hydemark Manor in metal embroidery, like on the gate, there's a wooden sign that has been like latched onto it by chains that says Pathfinder Lodge.
Awesome. I stroll right up like I own the place.
As you head into it, as you open the door, the first thing you open the door, and the first thing you hear is a arrow whizzing by you as a call from some deep voice, and like, careful there, young lassie. I was just aiming for the dartboard behind the door. And yeah, as you look in, they have a dartboard on the front door.
Nice.
And you see, the best thing I could describe it is God, you know the guy from Borderlands 2 that's the first guy you meet when you first go in? Huh?
Marcus?
No, what ho, adventurers?
Oh, Sir Hammerlock.
Sir Hammerlock. It basically
Yes.
looks like him.
Nice.
He's like, hello, welcome to the Pathfinder Lodge. How may I help you today? And he's like, already knocking another arrow to aim at the dartboard that is at an angle now.
Oh yeah,
You open the door.
I'm like 3 feet high, so I'm not in the way of his shot. Yes, I'm Lucilla Dalyard, and this is my friend Ris'sh. I am a Pathfinder initiate. I am looking for Sheila Hydemarch and Sir Kyaven Hydemarch.
Yes, Sir Kyaven, that is my name. He's like, what do you do? And he puts his hand downward towards you and to shake your hand. And it does that thing where he's so excited to shake your hand, he actually shakes your entire body because of your size.
I squeeze it as hard as I can.
Oh, yeah. And your feet kind of lift up off the ground about 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And before he plops you back down, he's like, me and my wife are the proprietors of this lodge. I assume by knowing our names, you wish to become society members. Kind of looks over at you and then looks over at the lizard. Aha! Lizardfolk! We haven't had one of them yet.
Yes.
Well.
This interesting place. Looking back at the door.
Yeah.
Please come in. You're quite in the way of my shot, you see. And he like emotions you in. He's like lines up and he takes another.
You're embarrassing me.
You got another way. He kind of lines up his shot and he takes another shot, and it's not perfect, but it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, finally I hit the board. I mean, and like you can tell he's quite inebriated at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but excuse my manners. Let me go fetch my wife. You all make yourselves at home. My manner is your manner, after all. Ha ha ha. And he wanders away with a hup 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 in his voice.
Mm-hmm. As soon as he's gone, I throw my dagger at the dartboard.
Roll an attack roll.
Let's see. 17?
Yeah. You don't get bullseye, but you get pretty close to it.
Closer than he did?
Well, let me roll to see. I didn't actually roll, but
He said he was inebriated.
Yep. Nope. Even with his modifiers, you got closer than he did.
He goes, thung. I'm like, yes. And then I just pull the dagger back to me.
Yep. You just hear from the back of the room, nice shot. Looking over, you see an albino gorilla.
Oh, I love this place. Hello, good sir. Didn't see you there.
Like, hello. And he like kind of just nods at you, but he doesn't really say much more.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, looking around, there is not many people here at the moment. You were warned that this is one of the smaller lodges.
Yeah.
It is relatively it was like one of the first ones to be started. It actually is the first one to be started in Varisia.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why Lucilla came out this direction is because she figured it was mostly untapped territory for adventure.
And as you're looking around, yeah, you see the gorilla, but you also see a sour-looking Chelish man, or not man, a Chelish woman who like her face has that constant like puckered look, like she stuck too hard on a lemon.
Yep.
But she's like currently poring over what looks like a map, and there is a Kelid man, a Kelid being like a barbarian kind of tribal people.
Yeah.
Who's in the middle of sharpening his blades. He has a large axe that he has, and then he has like another sword, like it's a gray sword, like embedded into the table that he's sitting at. And he's sharpening his axe. He's like, "Hello," and like very friendly sort of person, which is what you expect from what you've seen so far. The woman seems to be a little bit more of a different sort, but both you can tell are clearly Pathfinder Society members. Whether how varied they are in their experiences to be determined, but you wait a few minutes. The entire time, the gorilla kind of like he's like laying on this like plush large pillow in the corner of the room. It's just kind of watching you with what you can only guess is a smile. Before you see Canavan return with a woman who is wearing very noble-looking attire. She has like a silver tiara necklace that matches it. As she walks by, she kind of strokes the head of the gorilla. She's like, "Hello, my name is Sheila. I believe you were looking to speak to my husband and I about the Pathfinder Society."
Yes, I am a initiate from the Almas Lodge. And I pull out the copy of my adventure, have a complete written account of my first solo adventure. So that way I am submitting for review to see if I can become a full member of the lodge. I pass it over. It's got it all in it. It's got ancient ruins. It's got demons. It's got serial killers. It's got everything.
Little too on the nose there with the serial killers as of late, but I quite look forward to the read. And then her husband's like, "Haha, yes, she is definitely the reader of the relationship. I prefer action. In fact, you know what?" And he points to you, Pathfinder member. And he's like, "Come now, we should at least
monkey talking."
No, that's the sir.
The sir, yeah. And she's like, "Come now, we need to do our due diligence for the Pathfinder Society and actually read the adventure he went on."
Also, if I'm not
I
100% certain of the procedure here, but my friend Ris'sh here, I met along the trail, as detailed in my journal right there, has expressed some interest in joining the society as well. She has a deep interest in the arcane arts and researching more into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, you've never seen a wizard just fully pick up a goblin and just pile drive it to the ground.
I mean, I've seen weirder, but yes, that will be a first. And she's like, "Please sit. Allow me to read your adventure, and we can have some tea and some lunch." And he's like, she looks over at the gorilla. "Go, could you be a dear and go fetch us some pastries and some tea?" He's like, "At once, my lady." And he kind of gets up on his knuckles and begins to saunter off into the manor.
If it's not too much to ask, is he from the Mangawi Expanse?
"Oh yes, indeed. That is where and then the guy interrupts. "Yes, that is where we met and fell in love. Ha ha." And
you and Monkey, or
Thank you. Thank you.
And the wife
she walked up and started scratching the monkey on her head and said, "I hear you're here to see me and my husband."
When you ask that, the woman's like, "First one, then the other." But yes, we can discuss more. We always like to relive our glory days, don't we, husband? And he's like, "Haha, yes." And then cue montage of you guys going over your adventure. Probably Lucilla doing a lot of the excited talking about it. While the entire time, like, she'd be talking back and forth with you, but the woman would be reading the entire time as you're speaking about your adventure in the booklet.
Oh no, they're in the flashback episode.
Yes, but we're not going to live out the flashback episode.
Actually, can we take a quick bio?
I was just about to say, let's go ahead and take a quick bio, and then we can jump into what the rest of the people are doing.
Perfect.
All right.
Looking about to be, this book's going to be another 3 sessions. I started getting halfway decent at figuring out how long it's going to take, depending on where you guys are at the points. Could go longer, depending on how long fights go, but, that's the one that gets hard to determine.
I mean, the Pathfinder Society itself is a lot of fun. Just the organization. Yeah.
Just figured I'd post the image of the two of them. Like, that's an artist rendition, but I picture him as having a much more dressed up beard.
Yeah.
Calling it an artist rendition implies there are photographs of these fictional characters.
You don't know.
Yeah. Life finds a way.
In the universe of infinite possibilities.
Oh, God. Too many references.
Oh, freaking Ris'sh the monkey? I am lizard person. I'm not judge. I just question.
Here's another image that people use a lot for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just took the picture, the first one off of the wiki.
Yep. Yeah, morality-wise, the Pathfinder Society is all over the place. I know the Almas one is headed by a good aligned person, and I think this one is too, but I know there's other ones that do have evil aligned people who run it.
Oh yeah, they don't judge.
Yep.
Are we going to be able to catch our own monkey servants?
Probably not. You're not going to the Milwaukee Expanse.
Not that you know of.
No. You guys might go really off the rails.
No. We've established they didn't catch the monkey servant. They seduced it.
Yep.
I mean, the way they describe it, you're not too wrong.
At least its name isn't the Gimp.
Like, the way to describe it in the wiki is, during their travels, they found an awakened mountain gorilla who became her guardian, and then re-encountered Canavan, who she married shortly thereafter. She's like, well, I got my gorilla baby. I guess I should settle down.
So the gorilla's like their kid.
Whatever blows your skirt up.
Hey, you guys are just jealous that I'm joining just an adventure pulp magazine over here.
Where does a druid go in the city?
Obviously, the menagerie, or where everything is named for an animal.
The House of Lords. Just Gogmert walk up. Listen, I would like to take over the city. Where's your leader so I may engage him in single combat?
Wait, are you not going with? Are you not sticking with? Oh shit! What's her name? Fix and Emanuele.
Maybe.
There's also a place called the Burn. Just FYI.
The Burn.
It's number 71.
Did we get like tourist maps when we walked in?
Oh, well, this would be like you guys asking around and.
Gotcha. Because there should be a guy at the front gate hawking map to the stars.
I think we're all back.
I'm back.
Yep. So where you guys would like to go?
Well, I had a couple of ideas. There's the menagerie. I also thought about maybe the Cathedral of Abadar, since it's probably the shiniest thing around. Then again, this whole city is shiny, so.
Yep.
You don't want to get lost there.
You do see quite a bit of golems in around in the city. I will say, like, as a thing, you guys would probably find out during your time staying here over the course of however many days you're going to be here. Magnimar is the city where all modern day golems come from. Like, in any city that they get modern golems that aren't like old ones that have been rebuilt, they come from Magnimar.
So they're just constructs walking around.
Mm-hmm. You'll see nobles. You'll see nobles having basically a golem butler. Or like some high-ranking, or not high-value merchants walking around with like guardian droids, essentially.
Where Emanuele would ask around, Where do these come from, and can they be purchased?
Oh yes, they are found from the Golem Works, as one person kind of says proudly. It was number 15 on the map, which is actually relatively close to where you are, I believe. Nope,
Did
I'm
you
wrong.
renumber this map?
Nope.
Because it's as far as these maps go, it's pretty well numbered. Like the numbers,
this is a fan
follow
made
one
map.
to another.
That would explain it then.
Yeah. Because usually, like 82's over here by 7. And
Yeah, the one in Second Darkness, the one in the actual book has like 10 there twice, and one of them. But that's fixed in the map compendium.
The various town maps in Carrying Crown are usually not a problem because most of them are smaller settlements, so they get to like 15 tops. So it's not too bad. And Skull and Shackles is mostly out on the ocean. So
Yeah, there's only really one city in Curse of the Crimson Thorns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I will follow the tall two legs for the time being.
Yeah, at the moment, you eventually do need to find a place to sleep, but at this point you're just in tourist mode.
Yeah, Fix was looking for the magical trader, and is going to be asked around in Naus.
Yeah, I will say that there is no specific one trader. There's a bunch of shops, a bunch of vendors on the street. And I will say, that's why I put the gold limit up there. Anything you want to find, you can find in this district.
Okay.
It is within that. Unless they're like artifacts, anyway.
No. She's looking for a mithril buckler, or an agile mithril buckler.
Yeah, you'd be able to find that with ease. So you can any shopping you need to do in this one, as long as it doesn't go past that gold cap, I will just let you know it'll be easy to find.
Okay. Flavor wise, is it possible to have Saren Reyes insignia put upon it?
Roll me first a D100 and then a diplomacy.
All right. 31 followed by diplomacy.
Yeah, you find a blacksmith kind of like it's more of an arcane practitioner, but it's a swole arcane practitioner.
Okay.
And when you offer to pay for this, as you don't get a lot of people willing to shell out this much cash, even in a place like this. Big purchases like this are a big deal, even if the rule books don't really make it seem like that. That's a lot of gold to interchange. He is more than happy to take the time and tell you he basically tells you can come pick it up in the morning and it'll have the logo emblazoned on it and everything.
Fix will let out a excited squee before she regains her composure.
Thinking about it, I actually do want Gogmert to go visit the menagerie because there might be opportunities to see animals there that I can then later wild shape into.
Easy enough to do.
Stealing more animal companions when yours dies. We're just leaving the city. Wasn't that the menagerie? It was.
I mean, that is an actual option.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good explanation where new animal companions come from.
So yeah, when you go there, there is actually a person there that has the insignia of a Pathfinder Society member. And they're like, "Oh, hello, welcome to the Lord Mayor's Menagerie. Would you wish to come peruse?"
Yes, very much so.
Very well. It'll be a 5 copper entry fee, and you may enter.
I've got that for my friend. I'm going to join him.
Yep.
I imagine as we were walking, that giant building was there, and Emanuele's going to join you if that's cool.
Yeah.
So as you enter and you begin to go through it, it's not that big. It's not like a zoo in like modern day standards, but it has quite a bit of things. There's many displays of taxidermied animals, and there are some live captures as well. The most notable ones being a blinded ruby eye basilisk, whose eyes are on display next to the cage. You see a fist-sized metal spider in a smaller cage that they claim is from Numeria's Feldales. And a seemingly viable egg from a Tarn Linarm. A family of albino donkey rats. And a sign that says Prince Mundali, seemingly tame 14-foot tall ape.
You say a Linarm egg?
Yes.
Yeah, when you said viable, what do you mean?
That's what it's on the sign. It says viable egg of a Tarn Linarm.
Means in theory it could be hatched.
Mm-hmm.
That's the giant snake dragon, right?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, let me give Gogmert a roll to see if he knows what a Linarm is, because they're not exactly...
Yeah, roll me an Arcana.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Would a nature or geography do?
I'll allow geography with a slightly higher DC, since, you'd be thinking about the regions where it would come from and stuff.
Yeah.
That's enough to know what a Linarm is. This one in particular is a very aquatic natured one. Very evil. They are known when they are killed to have death curses, but that's about as much as you know.
Heard stories of the old warriors who rode those. It'd be a proud thing to bring one home to Malthun. Could really get
a proud thing to mount up on a wall.
That's terrible. Maybe after its death, when it has served you as a mount.
Now, I like to keep my companions in control.
You've done very well with them. How long have you had those two?
Well, they were only they were children when I first started traveling, if you remember. My senior fire pelt was slain in a
horrible boat
confrontation.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's always tough to have a companion go down like that. Especially
the one that killed them.
This is all just a long con for Gogmert to get revenge later when he kills the snake. But yeah, looking around, you do see other actual living animals. You do see lions. You see some wolves. You see crocodiles. Nothing like basic like herd animals or anything, but you do see some rather large lizards.
Yeah, I think me and Emanuele are still thinking about that Linarm egg.
Yep.
How easy it'd be to get out of here with it, looking at all the eggs.
Oh my god. We leave the city and you're like, yep, we have our cursed snake dragon. Why?
And just because it says it's viable to hatch it doesn't mean you guys know how to hatch it.
Well, yeah, that's when the next part of the quest would begin.
What's important is that I get it back to Malthun. They can worry about the rest.
How much did an artifact like that cost, do you think, Emanuele?
Someone's life. Many, many someone's lives.
Probably
which
not
is a price
to part with it.
Which is a price I'm always willing to pay. You have to sacrifice a lot of your troops on the battle. I mean, never mind.
Gogmert does that thing where like you pat someone on the back, but instead he's so short, so he just kind of pats you on like the leg,
Yes.
and he goes, "All right, you'll cause a distraction, and I'll get out of here."
No, Gogmort. That's not the way it will work. They would send thousands to find us for something like that.
I send thousands when 2 will do.
The best way to go about it is to have them convinced that they need to give it to you for a service you have provided. Come with me, I'll show you.
This is the weirdest bromance, and I'm here for it.
Dude, it's kind of been brewing since Gogmert joined the group.
Yeah, no.
I can't help it. Everyone else hates Emanuele. But Gogmert's like, this guy's an idiot. He's okay.
This campaign will just end with Emanuele returning to Malthoon. He's like, and I brought backup. It's just a green tide of goblins.
Oh god. Offer citizenship to all the goblins in the Thistletop tribe.
We're almost there.
Yeah, and then Gogmert would go off with Emanuele on their hijinks.
Oh, I like it, Loki. It's at this point that Fix realizes she left Emanuele and Gogmert alone together.
Are they being good influences on each other or bad influences on each other?
Bad.
Yes.
She assumes bad.
One's a goblin, one's undead.
Undead recovered.
Emanuele, as you guys kind of spend your time and you eventually leave the menagerie, go ahead and roll me a perception.
Just Emanuele?
Just Emanuele.
Okay.
Emanuele, you see the elven boy you remember from your childhood. Just kind of walking down the street.
Oh, what was his name?
I'm trying to find my notes now, right? So, because I can never save my notes properly, so I have to go hunting for them in my multiple bookmarks. And
it's okay. While Emanuele thinks, he's running up to him. You, hey, it's you.
That guy.
Yep. Give me a second.
This must be the human custom of greeting children.
Man.
I know how you feel, Richard. Honestly, this is half the reason why I make character sheets for characters I don't expect you to fight. It's just so I can have their names in Roll20 for quick access.
Yeah. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm terrible at this. His name is Pico.
Oh yeah, the guy. Oh,
Pico, is that you?
And his well, butter my biscuits.
Emanuele
Depardieu. Yes, I know you. It's like, yes, I know you and your weird name. And he's like, he's literally exactly as you remember him from your childhood, because an elf, and they don't really age very fast.
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks for him.
Yeah, he's like, I swear to God, I remember the last time I saw you. It was like, and he starts talking about how like he convinced you to feed the snakes lemon dipped rats.
God, was that the last time? Surely you got to spend time with me after that.
No, your father kept you busy, and eventually my family and I moved up away from Multhoon to, well, as you see, Magnimar here.
Yeah, I just noticed that you weren't in Multhoon anymore. What have you been doing?
Oh, this, that, her, him.
Oh. Always wishing to be the lady killer that I was, huh?
Mm-hmm.
While Emanuele is distracted, Gogmert wanders off. And I'm going to roll a stealth.
Go for it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he has a good perception, but I've only got 1 rank in it. And that would beat it.
Yep. You do see the elven, like, guy when you're stealthing away, the elven kid looks over and does see you leaving, but he just doesn't really do anything about it. He just goes back to talking to Emanuele. He's like, so what brings you up into my business up in here in Magnimar?
Oh, you're from here. Then you must have some good... Oh, well, to answer your question, I'm on official Malthun business.
Man, you don't know when to quit when all the official stuff. Let your hair down, like let loose. Just go on an adventure.
That's funny. I try, but it always seems to be just in the right spot as he runs his fingers through his hair.
Mm-hmm.
We're on a bit of it. We're on a bit of an adventure. I've been deputized, helped them, quell some ghoul uprisings, ghosts over in Sandpoint. We're here now to do the same thing in Malthun.
Well, I sure hope there aren't any ghouls here. That would be just positively ghoulish.
Well, it has to do with the serial killer. It's an official deputy business. I'm really not supposed to talk that much about it.
Yeah, enough of that. Look, I have a party I'm going to. I want you to come. It sounds fun.
I want to go.
Okay, first step. Drink this. Don't ask questions, just drink it.
Oh, no.
The influence continues.
Sure thing, Pico. Wait. Sense motive.
Is it bad that I don't know why the vibe I got of this guy, where it's like, really, was that lemon thing the last time I saw you? Yep, that was just before I was arrested for pedophilia. It's just like, oh.
I mean, he looks like a child, but he's 900 years old.
Yeah, it's an Edward from Twilight action.
You just think he wants to have a good time.
What's that?
It just seems like he wants to have a good time.
All right.
Wants you to have a good time with him.
Pico, do you remember that? And he drinks it. Goodbye.
So yeah, you eventually, as you start talking to him, the world kind of devolves into like green and blue lines almost. You have faint visions of riding on top of llamas in the field outside of Magnimar. Before poking at tree frogs with sticks and such.
Riders on the storm.
Yep.
Riders on the storm.
We will see you later.
Into the house we're born. Into the world we're thrown.
So Gogmert will probably wander off somewhere else, but if you want to go to another group...
Yeah, we'll go back to the Pathfinder Society group.
I applaud you, Richard, for being on the same comedic wavelength as me, because literally when he says, I'm going to a party, in my head I said, now he's going to ask you to let him dissolve something on your tongue. And you're like, here, drink this potion. I'm like, oh shit, it's happening.
And then they added, don't ask questions, just drink it.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to have a good time?
No.
Okay, so we jump back to the Pathfinder Lodge. This has probably been a good 3 or 4 hours, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Ephixa, I imagine you'll be doing other stuff too, but I'm going to come back to you in a second.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ris'sh, Lucilla, she is a remarkably quick reader, and she is actually going through it as you guys have been speaking and enjoying pleasantries and exchanging stories. They regale you about the Mwangi Expanse and many of their other adventures, and how they decided to settle up here because they were originally from Magnimar. While he wasn't a lord, she was a noble, and she very much wanted to bring the Pathfinder Society to her own people, as she thinks it does a lot of good, even if they are a lot of them just out for the adventure of it. The adventure alone helps the community by bringing all this ancient knowledge and ancient stuff to light. There is some bad stuff to go along with it, but for the most part, it's been positive.
Yes, most knowledge of benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Some quite dangerous, though.
Yes, I myself have only dabbled in the arcane. I'm okay at it, but I'm nothing exceptional. And he's like, come now, you sell yourself short. I remember the days when you used to sling spells with the best of them. But she starts asking you questions about the adventure and what you guys have done so far. And yeah, it's basically kind of recapping everything you've done so far. And she's like, although I will say, this is more than enough to become a member of the society. But I am remiss of, I hope you're not stopping here. This doesn't seem like a concluded adventure.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm still hot on the trail. I was just checking in.
Yes, well, I think it's enough at least to award you with a provisional membership, with all the authority that goes with it as a member of the society. Essentially, this will also up your guys' budget for magical item purchases by 5,000 gold.
Hell yeah.
So just write that somewhere on your sheet, by the way.
Yeah, I'll,
So we're 31.5.
Yeah, so they're 26-1 for you guys are 25-6.
Now, if only it was an actual budget we could spend immediately.
Right. No. But they do actually
put
give
the
you
number
both.
in chat real quick.
It's up a little bit above those images. It has the number. Just add 500 to it.
Oh,
Or I'll just post it again.
yeah, it would be 3,600. So okay.
It'd be 100.
Oh, 500 gold. I thought it was 500,000.
Or no, 5,000. Sorry, I did my own math wrong. So
Yeah.
that would be 30,600.
Okay, I'm gonna just put this in the notes section because my thing is having an issue for some reason.
No worries. But she does also award you both with a Wayfinder. She's like, these are for full members, and judging from the story here, you both had equal parts in it, and I feel like that should be awarded. So I welcome you both to the society, and while I don't have the ion stones that go inside of these, but they should be able to find some within the market. Ours are a little older, so they're a little bit varied in terms of what they do with the ion stone, so be warned. Mileage may vary. That being said, these are older ones, so you have to roll D100 when you first put an ion item in, and it determines randomly what the effect is.
Cool. And these are otherwise the ordinary Pathfinder wayfinders where they are functionally like a compass that can cast light on them, if I remember correctly. Yes. Cool.
Yeah, it's a blend of artistry, magic, and technology. They can be put in with ion stones. The standard one gives you a +2 bonus on survival, a circumstance bonus on survival checks. You can use it to cast a light spell, and it can hold a single ion stone. And when you put them in, you'll roll a D100, and it'll do a random effect. And then you'll just record that on your sheet somewhere, or your bio page, or whatever you want to put it on. Mm-hmm. Because each ion stone type is going to do a different effect. Because these are older ones, so they're not exactly solid.
Don't you already have an ion stone?
I do. I got a ion torch, but maybe I can find something better.
I mean, you can put it in there and see what it does. You can still take them out.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Yeah, you put it in and roll me a D100.
Still in the 80s.
Yes, in the 80s.
When you have the ion torch in there, it protects you from possession and mental control as of protection from evil.
Fuck yeah!
Wow.
That's ridiculously good.
This weather is fantastic today.
Name of this episode, The Crazy 80s.
Yeah, all ion torches. It'll be all ion torch stones will give this effect. It's not dependent per stone. It's dependent per type of stone.
Gotcha.
I forget, does stone still give its normal benefits?
No, the normal benefits that you would normally get for like a mossy disc.
Actually, it's an ion stone slotted in this manner still gives you normal benefits, but frequently reveals entirely new powers due to the Wayfinder itself. So yeah.
And
it'll be both.
I can pull it up, but if you already have it open, it gives a +2 to navigation on survival, circumstantial.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you both have one. And whenever you put one of those ion items in there, just let me know, and we'll roll on that table.
Yeah, that protection for possession would have been real handily in Foxglove Manor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you would have been just be able to walk through that like a baller.
Yeah.
Like, this haunt hits me, this haunt hits me, all the haunts. Fuck it. It's everything's done. Come on in, guys.
Now you can go back.
Now, if you rolled at 87, you would have been able to teleport once per week to a location designated at the time of the stone's creation.
That's cool. Just anywhere in the world, or just normal teleportation range?
Teleport to a specific... and where you got this ion torch, you don't know, so it would teleport you to a random place. You have no idea where it would go. And who knows if you'd be able to find your way back.
Adventure! New character. But no, the protection from possession and mental conditions is pretty great.
Mental control, at least.
Yeah. I mean,
that was an excellent one to roll first. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That basically like shuts like succubi and stuff down. So
Teleports you to the Mogwai Expanse.
Now, the Mogwai Expanse is a little different from the Mwangi Expanse.
Mhm.
One of them is filled with weird animatronic puppets.
Oh no! It's like a horrific Disney Jungles cruise. Just every 10 minutes you hear someone say, "And now the backside of water."
So yeah, it devolves more again into more conversation and stuff. So we'll go ahead and jump over to Ephixa. Ephixa, what you doing?
We know we're going to, what was it, the Pug's Contraptions?
Yeah, that's 80. It's all the way on the other side of the city.
So,
but from the fact that you guys are all split up, who knows if you're going to go there today?
Yeah.
You know we're just trying to find a shelter somewhere.
Yes, that's one thing I asked you to do.
Yeah. Fix will go ahead and ask for various inns as well as where the shrine to Saren Reyes is. So, which one are you asking about first? Let's go Saren Rey first.
Okay. Roll a diplomacy. Okay. Yeah. They tell you that it is in the underbridge, actually. Which is literally underneath the bridge. It is number 88 on the map.
Okay, is that accessed by going up the top of the bridge? Then
no, you go down. You basically go down. There's I can't remember exactly where it is, but on this path over here, like this cliff.
It looks like there's
Yeah, you go down there, and it leads into there.
Okay, so she'll probably go that way, and being oblivious to the layouts and areas of a city so big, she'll probably also look for an inn in that area. We're slumming it, guys.
I like how those of us who are used to cities just completely abandoned the people who aren't, and then the people that have like some common danger sense also then just left the chaotic ones alone.
Yep. Splitting the party.
It's worth pointing out that like Ris'sh and Lucilla are having at least Lucilla, as I can't speak for Ris'sh, but a very pleasant afternoon.
So is Emanuele.
Yeah.
So you go down here to find the Shrine of Saren Rey that you've been directed to. And people don't really seem to leave their houses much when they don't have to down here. You see more than often a random thug passerby or one or another. You see some people kind of looking up and down, and then you can kind of just get the sense they're like, it's not worth trying to deal with her, and then walk away from you. This is definitely not the most reputable of locations. It's definitely the criminal organization area. But you do find what you're looking for, which is the Shrine of Saren Rey. And it is currently abandoned. You know from your knowledge and being training, Saren Rey isn't the most worshipped of divine figures in Varisia. usually when her worship is had, it's usually with churches that have other worshippers of other different deities as well. Like Sandpoint, where it had a shrine of 7 different gods in their one cathedral.
Yeah.
It's not like the big religion. Desna is like the biggest religion around here.
Gotcha. Is there? I guess you'd probably have to ask if there's also a shrine to Shaylin as well.
We'll get to that in 1 second.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of look over this cathedral, and
A cathedral or just a shrine? Like, is it just
it's a shrine. I just said cathedral on accident.
Okay, so it's not like an actual enclosed building. It's just a.
It's mostly just an open air kind of shrine area. It looks like there was at least the beginning construction attempts of this church in this grounds.
Mm.
It's like in the shadow of this giant, what looks like almost like a clock tower. It's kind of like half leaning, like it's like leaning, like almost like the Leaning Tower of Pisa angle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like built underneath it, so it's not like the best of location.
Mm-hmm.
But the shrine itself is long since abandoned, and it looks like it's been just left here to languish in the shadows.
She'll probably spend some time here, cleaning it up a bit, paying her respects, and just kind of praying as she works to, tidy it up and kind of doing what she can.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You do eventually come across, as you're kind of cleaning up, there are spatters of long dried blood on certain parts of the walls that had been built. It looks like what happened here probably wasn't an accident. Seems to be that this place has lived up to the name of the Underbridge being a criminal location.
Mm-hmm.
That they even had dealings with assaulting clergy of Saren.
She probably sees it as a challenge and a goal. And it's just kind of, again, as she's kind of cleaning it up and, doing all that, she's probably thinking of ways to help restore it in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
But at that, once she gets finished there, she'll probably start asking around for let me go ahead and just do a roll, see if she has the insight to venture a little bit out of this area. Oh, that's enough. Yeah, so she'll probably, once she finishes cleaning up the shrine, probably make her way back to the new money district and start looking for a reputable inn.
And by the way, asking around, there isn't really a shrine to Shaylin here.
Mm-hmm.
You do see some churches that just have random shrines to different gods. It's not like, but there's not anyone specific to her.
Okay, but Desna, of course, probably has a major.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones.
Okay. Is there one that's kind of more notable than the others?
Not really.
Okay.
It's like when you go to big cities that have just like a bunch of like small churches on the sides of areas, but no big central church.
Okay.
Let's see.
We got Southern Baptist.
More Southern Baptist.
Southern Baptist.
It could
First
be like
Southern Baptist, Southern Baptist of the town, Southern Baptist Lutheran.
it could be like Montreal. They're just all Catholic.
If you read the words Pentecostal Run.
Mm.
Oh, Pentecostal.
I'm going to speak in tongues at you.
Let's see. Like, go ahead and roll me diplomacy to see what kind of inn that you when you're asking around. 21, that's not bad. Where is the name of it? Sorry, there's just so many things in this
Oh yeah.
thing I'm trying to find. Yeah. They recommend a couple different ones. There's the Blue Bunyip, which is in the Naus district. Let me see what number it is.
Is there any that kind of have a reputation of being more fun rather than, uppity? Or, I guess, less nobles, more people that know how to have fun?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for real quick before I just put my foot in my
Ephixa
mouth.
looking for a good time.
I mean, you are in Uptown.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. No, I know of one in particular. I'm just looking for it right now. They basically tell you that if you're looking for a nice tavern that you're not going to wind up getting punched at, your best bet is to stay in the Alabaster District, as they have quite a bit of rowdy sailors kind of congregating into the lower quarters. But they recommend one known as the Scarlet Raven. It's not on the map, but it's right around this area over here near the central square here.
Okay. All right, so she'll probably go that way, and let's see. Actually, trying to remember if I have any scraps of paper or anything, parchment that I could write a note. Basically, what I'm looking to do is write a note, tie it to Yukai, and send him off to find Lucilla, or
A piece of note would be easy to do.
Okay, yeah, and just kind of do that, and since he's an intelligent familiar, he should be able to know roughly where they're at. At least use the Adventures or the Pathfinder's Guild as a reference point.
Yeah, you go ahead and tie the letter onto him, and he's like, "What am I, a pigeon?"
Nope, you're my best friend. Go.
Things I do for you, and he just starts flying off.
Look out for undead bats.
You see his wings kind of sputter for a moment before he takes off flying again.
He shuts too soon and throws a cup.
So then she'll start making her way to...
I almost wanted him to have the Iago voice, but I can't do it.
Right?
Gilbert Godfrey.
So
you'd make it through half a session before your voice is just raw with the Gilbert Godfrey voice.
For one session, I tried to do an old gnome that was trying to do the voice from one of these aliens from Mandalorian, and I regretted it the next day so much.
Oh yeah, I'm constantly drinking water while we play because otherwise my throat gets so dry.
Yeah, I guess from people who do this more professionally, they talk about like vocal warm-ups before the game, but I can't be bothered.
Also, I don't talk as loud as I would normally just talk to people on the street or something.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk lower than what your normal volume is, it also hurts your throat more.
Yeah.
But I have, family around me and stuff, and it would get kind of obnoxious to them if I talk louder.
Yeah.
Jumping around a little bit again. Gogmert, what are you doing for the rest of your day?
We are going to not going to try to steal the Linor Meg, guys. I promise. Not yet. Not until I have reliable means to hide it somewhere.
In character, I'm very relieved. Out of character, I'd be disappointed if it didn't happen at some point.
Well, yeah, but if I took it now, I wouldn't even know where to bring it.
Yeah.
And it's not something you can really just walk around the city with. So we're going to visit number 17.
Number 17. Founders Archive and Museum of Ages. Nice.
Oh no. I was planning on going there at some point.
We still can once the rebels, once the fire's out and the rebels sifted through.
Once they clear away all the bodies.
Yeah, let me get to that page because this is going to be an event.
I mean, where is it better for a foreigner to learn about the local culture?
Don't you think reading words pulls them out of your brain or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you make your way to it looks like it's actually like a small campus just north of a large hall. Several grandiose structures house this area. asking around as you're kind of going around, or even just hearing people talk about it. It is the place that houses private collections of some of the most esteemed citizens. It is almost a museum / trading post as well. And yeah, you're allowed in freely as there's a lot of guards here.
Mm-hmm.
Going inside, you see a bunch of displays. At a glance, you see a magically petrified Cyclops eye. A gemstone that you don't read, so you don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You see 2 marble lions, one of red, one of black. As well as you see a couple people talking to lookers on about old histories of these objects and relics.
I'm gonna join that group, considering I can't read any of this. I mean, I technically can, but I won't.
A Varisian man and a older Shawanti woman are leading 2 separate groups. You kind of poke your head into each. The man who introduced himself as Dr. Landis talks particularly. He seems to be talking about Varisian history. The woman herself is talking about the gemstone. Talks about its part of the regalia of King Chadris Porphyria III, held on public display here. She talks about how, despite it's on display here, it is much to Korvosa's disdain that it is here and not in their own possession. And they just seem to be kind of going on about different lectures.
Why do they keep telling us we're walking?
And we're walking and we're walking.
Yes, I know.
But yeah, it is just a museum in every sense of the word. There's just random vases from Tian Sha that they talk about.
I'm gonna take a closer look at that gemstone.
Yep, it is behind glass, but getting closer to it, it is just a very big gem. You're not sure of the make or anything of it, but it looks like if it was affixed to, like, say, a crown or something, it would be like the central piece.
We're coming back here. I don't have the ability to take this right now.
Good Lord.
But I do want that gemstone.
Look forward to the side adventure, Gogmert 11.
Is there anyone around, like museum staff or anything?
Oh yeah, there's people everywhere.
This is look for someone who looks like they work here, and not really bother with any pleasantries, but just point at the gem and ask, "Can you tell me anything else about this?"
And he kind of thinks about it though for a moment. It's like, I believe it was one of the crown jewels of one of King of Korvosa in the past. It had been stolen, I believe, at some point or another, and when it was recovered, it was brought here and put on display. And Korvosa has been very high opinion of that it should be returned to them, but the private owner that has it in their possession, their collection.
It was stolen, and then it ended up here. Interesting.
Interesting that, yes.
Well, I thank you for your prompt response to my question. And he will, directly from talking to that person, leave the museum.
Good to know.
He's gonna steal it and pin it on Korvosa. And he's gonna leave a note that says Corvosa, and he spells it wrong.
Corvosa for life, but it has the letter 4, the number 4, and life is spelled with a Y.
It'll make for a great crown jewel for the king of the Thistletop Goblins.
And Corvus is spelled with a Q.
That's somehow more like crazy than the actual spelling. I love it.
Corvosa.
Mm-hmm. There's a semicolon in the middle
But
somewhere.
it's gonna be hard because I don't think any of you losers will get in on this. I can convince Emanuele of the egg.
So you all doing your eventual businesses. Lucilla and Ris'sh, as you're leaving, the bird has been pecking at the window for quite a while, and you kind of read the note. I imagine it says something along the lines of "Meet me at here in this direction."
Yeah.
Return the note to the bird, and then the bird would fly off. It would be getting later into the night before it finds Gogmert, and it just kind of pecks the note free as it flies by and kind of drops it in front of Gogmert. Doesn't really trust him, it looks like.
Real question though: is Fix one of those kind of people that dots all their I's with hearts?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
And Emanuele is nowhere to be found. Flashback
Lovely.
to Ephixa. Ephixa, you go into this tavern. It's run by a older human woman, and she nods at you. Is like, "Come on in." Says more pleasantries. As you notice that Emanuele is kind of lounging on this really plush and padded chair by the fireplace.
Oh, he
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
Fix would wander over and say, "Oh, you beat me here. Did you already get rooms?"
Or was I already here to begin with?
Yeah, you notice he's very out of it, and in his hand he has a small quiver of arrows, which dangerously have the points pointed outward from the quiver.
Oh.
And each one of the arrowheads are designed to look like laughing faces with a point to them.
What?
Look, I've been thinking. What slows you down in combat?
Could be several things. Your heavy armor, I suppose, is one of them. People getting in the way is another.
Your pants.
No.
Let the romance begin.
Tactical nudity.
Tactical nudes inbound.
Are-
I'm sorry, I missed. Have we all
Great.
converged at this point?
Not yet.
Oh, they're deep striking.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. I've been wanting to use that joke for a while, but it just never had a time. And when you said tactical nudes,
Oh man, I wish you had said that so long ago, Richard. I literally spent a year and a half working on Call of Duty where we had to test voice chat. Oh man. So many good jokes wasted.
you'll be back there eventually, I'm sure.
No, I will go work as a night shelf stalker at Walmart. They pay me more.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Yeah, before I go back to Activision. Fuck that.
Shift differential alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ephixa, you're having to deal with coming down from a high Emanuele, which is a sentence you probably never thought you'd have to think of in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You all do eventually converge on this tavern. Emanuele, you do start coming out of your stupor a little bit as the group kind of mingles here.
So what's going on? Once he seems to get some lucidity, she'll probably ask for the 15th time. What's up with the arrowheads and the smiley faces on them.
I have no idea. I'm so thirsty. Where are we?
We're at the what was it? The Scarlet
Raven.
Scarlet Raven.
No, I've heard good things. Good choice.
Apparently, you came here. What happened to you? Did somebody poison you?
Does he remember anything?
You remember frolicking with llamas and poking frogs, and you remember vaguely your elven friend Pico convincing some women to come up and flirt with you and have you proceed to vomit everywhere during the interchange, whether it be from the high or from nerves. You're not sure?
No, I don't remember a thing.
I will save you the trouble. They do detect as magic, by the way.
Who?
The arrows.
Oh. What are these?
Apart from being in your quiver the wrong way.
Yeah, that'd be dangerous. How do we detect in this system?
You do a spellcraft.
Identify. Oh no, where's
Either
Ris'sh?
can detect magic.
Yeah, because Ris'sh and Lucilla, who usually do this, probably aren't here yet, are they?
Yeah, well, no, I said this is about the time you guys are all wandering in. So that's why I was saying it, because eventually it's going to come to the point. I was just letting you guys know now.
Yeah, Emanuele has
magic
detect magic. Yeah, he has the cantrip.
Yep.
You haven't been looking at any more questionable fluids, have you?
No, I'm a bit embarrassed.
She would probably say that a little bit louder than she needed to.
And he didn't catch on, so.
I like fully punch Fix in the leg, like like he's off a little bit.
I ran into an old friend of mine, Pico. I grew up with him, and we went. He had a place we were going to go, and then the things I remember next were I must have fallen asleep and just had a weird dream.
Did he say where he was going?
Yeah, we were going to a party.
Wait, did he give you anything?
I don't know. I must have fallen asleep. I mean, he had this. Well, he did have this vial. He was like, "Hey, we're gonna have a great time," and he was always a big party guy and liked to do shots and things. And he handed me this vial that he was carrying a drink.
By the
and
way,
I just
you've been roofied.
I'm sorry.
You've been
I'm clearly on the
up?
floor.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, like, who amongst our little group here has experience in larger cities? I raise my hand.
No.
Emanuele raises his hand.
Okay, you clearly do not have the right kind of experience. Put your hand down.
The Thistletop is
I
the largest of
disagree.
the Goblin tribes
I've
in the
sat
area.
in on many management meetings and royal overseeings and chamber meetings, and I've even been outside of the manor walls before. Of course, only in the carriage.
Wow. That was both dumb and nerdy at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna apparently have to start buddy systeming you guys because, out there in the wilderness, if a troll crawls out from underneath the bridge, that's the easy solution. The dangers here are much more covert.
I was already underneath the bridge. I didn't see any trolls down there.
And his name is
Gogmert's
Pico,
plenty
not covert.
Wait, hold, back up. Fix.
Hmm?
There's buildings under the bridge.
Yeah.
Was there blood splatters and stuff?
There was some dried blood on this shrine of Saren Ray. Yeah.
Okay, you went to the bad part of town. I start rubbing my temples.
Like every person who's ever tried to guide small town people in a big city has ever had to do.
Okay. While I'm on the matter of it, Gogmert, did you steal anything?
No, my hands are clean. He empties his bag to show you.
Okay, good. Ris'sh, you're with
Of
me?
course he didn't. He was with me the whole time.
That means nothing to me. Ris'sh, I just want to say, I put a hand on her claw. I appreciate you. Moving.
You're the most normal person here.
Gogmert, thank you for restraining yourself. Also, I'm fairly certain any of those golems that wander around town could kill us all.
Oh, the golems. That's what I was going to go do.
You're going to do what with the golem?
We should talk to the mayor.
Okay, no, it's getting late. You're coming off of something. I'm going to go get you some water and some coffee beans, see if the barkeep has anything. So just stay here and, like, try not to, like, I don't know, pull off your eyelids or anything.
And for the first time, he looks around. Where are we?
I go
We're all in one room?
We're in the commons area, right? Richard?
I am muted. Haha.
There we go.
You guys are all in the tavern portion of this inn. When you came in, Emanuele is by the fireplace in one of the nice plush chairs, but there's like couches, tables. Meat-based dinner is easy enough to do. When you say meat, you ask for that, and then they bring you fish because it's a port town.
Mm-hmm.
Gomert will mention that he has a couple questions for Lucilla.
Okay.
By the way, if you guys just get out of the way, if you want to roll that spellcraft, I can tell you what those are.
I'm sure.
Got
I was
27 passive, then we'll see if we can get higher than that.
Oh, you have 27 pass.
Can take 10 even when distracted or endangered.
25.
Okay.
I didn't write it down, but I have the exact same take 10 thing as well.
Those are 5 arrows of hideous laughter. When you hit somebody with them, it doesn't do damage. It just makes them. It hits them with the spell hideous laughter, and it's for a DC 15.
Love it. He is going to put those into his quiver of whatever the special quiver was called.
He's going to trip on that later.
Okay, I'm back from the bar. All right, Emanuele, here's a cup of water. Chew on these coffee beans. When you go to bed tonight, be sure to soak your socks in water and put them on damp.
About that. After seeing at door, given that they attack us back in Sandpoint, whoever we're here for most likely know that we are here.
Yeah, there's not a lot we can do at that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe take shifts in city?
Yes. That's a good idea.
Should I disguise myself? Because clearly they're looking for me.
I mean, you wandered all over the city. I think that ship sailed.
Probably should not split up as much as we did tomorrow.
Agreed.
Good news is, Ris'sh and I were very successful at the Pathfinder Society, so...
By the way, if you wanted to, you could put the ion torch in his and test his, because it'll be another random roll.
I mean,
just FYI.
That's up to Ris'sh. Like, we can flashback. Ris'sh wants to do it.
Well, I mean, you can just do it whenever. I'm just letting you know. If you ever have multiple, you guys can share them, because they'll do different things depending on each one of your guys' wayfinders.
Just want to roll that so if we want to know now.
Yeah, you don't have to do it right now. I wasn't trying to pressure you guys into that, but
you're not pressuring. We're just
seems like a curiosity thing a halfling might want to try out. 79.
Close.
Yep.
Message at will, targeting a wayfinder within range.
That's the feat that we have.
Yeah.
Not all of them are the best, but they're all very flavorful.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Although it is 100 plus.
I put mine back into mine because our feat functions exactly like the message spell. So.
Yeah, except we have to be able to see each other, right?
Yeah, this one would be good if like one of you went scouting ahead. You could message to the Wayfinder, like around corners and such. Is what I mean.
Yeah, oh yeah. But we only have the one ion torch, and I would like my protection from mind fuckery, please.
Yep, that's pretty
He's
potent.
definitely better, but you know.
Good
Only
to know.
slightly.
Ion torches aren't that expensive if we want to pick one up here.
We just go do it and you try one out, put it in. No, I want. Hey, let's try this one. Yes. Go through the gamut of the
Going
ion
down
stones
the
to have.
shelf of the store.
Yeah.
Keep in mind there is a chance that you can roll and it either destroys the Wayfinder or gets locked into the Wayfinder.
Yeah, I figured it was something like that. That's why I wasn't going to actually do that.
Just keep in mind if you try to do that, and you could do that, but then if you lock into one that's like extremely expensive,
Mhm.
then you're gonna have to explain how. No, you see, it's not my fault. It's stuck. It's not my fault. It's 90,000 gold.
No, you see, we have a plan for that. I shout Gogmert, plan B, and then just flaming arrows shoot through the windows, and we leave.
Yeah, 99, 100. 98 is the stuck one.
Yeah, the best one is 91. Is roll again, doubling the strength, uses per day, or duration of the roll.
Mm.
Anyway, so we're all gathered up in the tavern now.
Yep.
So, other than Emanuele's wild ride, what else's day go?
Found a magic shop that's making me a shield,
That's good.
and which leads me to my next question of what do we want to do with this ring? I'm all for pawning it off.
Let's not sell it. It's an artifact.
Also, it's good for pretty much any of you because it has no armor check penalty and no arcane spell failure for like wizards or anything, and it's a free action to bring it out.
Yeah.
If you want it, it just seems like it's quickly being associated with a lot of negative connotations.
Well, so are swords, and people like those.
So are goblins.
Yeah, Gogmert's cool.
Ish.
Well then, which one of you wants it? Because I honestly am not fond of wearing the symbol anymore.
Gogmert will take it.
I mean,
Fix.
purely out of character, Gogmert will probably get more use out of it as he's up in melee, unlike me. So.
Yeah, Fix will just take off the ring and set it on the table in front of him. All yours.
Gogmert will take it.
And it catches the firelight and starts whispering in the language of Morador. Now that's the dwarf campaign. You guys found an actual invisibility ring in a game.
What should I mark the ring as in my inventory?
It's a ring of force shield.
Ring of force.
And as a free action, you can have it pop out, and it's a +4 shield that has it doesn't interfere with spell casting or interfere with anything really.
I thought you said it was a +2.
+2. Let me ring.
+2 on top of the AC you would get from the shield.
I'm looking it up right now. Ring of Force Shield is a +2. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
It gives you all the stats of basically a heavy shield, but it has no penalty or
none of the
anything.
penalties of them.
Yeah.
Basically,
Basically,
because it's basically a wall of force in the shape of a shield.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Now Gogmert does have a couple of questions. He'll look at Lucilla and he'll say, "This human village is very large. How many more like this are out there?"
I don't know. 100 more, maybe.
Oh, the humans here. They don't seem to like the humans from another village. The one called what was it? Corvosa?
Yeah. That's probably because the Corvosans are a former colony of Chiliax, and Chiliax isn't terribly popular across the Inner Sea region about enslaving people and summoning devils and all that kind of business.
They say goblins are the problem. And Gogmert will keep inquiring about Corvosa.
Mm-hmm.
He's very interested in that city's history.
I think we know what an NPC we're going to run into is.
Oh no!
It could just be a shopkeeper, since we're always calling him Gogmert.
Welcome to Gogmart. My name is Gogmert.
Today we have a sale on knives, free samples.
But yeah, they do have all. Oh, go
ahead. Richard, I don't know what Lucilla would know and what she would be able to tell Gogmert about Corpo. So,
I mean, I've got mad knowledge skills, so I can.
Yeah, she has pretty good knowledge skills. So anything that would be readily available, just common knowledge, she would just have.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, anything that would be more obscure, I'll say that since she's not from this area, she wouldn't know heavy details of.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, explain the whole history with Cheliacs, who Chelish people are. That there are different kinds of humans that look different.
Go into the details of there's just in this area alone, there's Varisians, Shawanti, Chelians, Delaxians.
Delaxians. Yeah, Lucilla's definitely happy to have a deep academic discussion talking about cultures and peoples. And as a proud citizen of Andoran, she has very defined opinions on Cheliacs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a lot of people like Cheliacs.
So what you're saying is it's not wrong for me to frame them on this heist.
I'm sorry, what now?
I didn't say that out loud.
Okay.
No, he said that out loud, and then he said, I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, okay, cool. Your bluff worked.
But yeah, this tavern has quite a bit of rooms. There's rooms that are like the big common room, and they have smaller rooms for traveling groups, so like families and stuff. So they have multiple beds in different rooms. They also have single rooms. Whatever you need.
Family traveler room. We all be in one space.
And it's perfect because they even have beds that are children's sized for the half people.
Thank you.
So we would
That
sleep,
is very thoughtful.
So we would have to sleep in the same area?
Yes.
He's safer.
Don't even get us started on sharing the chamber pot.
What about changing quarters? Dressing?
They do have bathrooms and such, so.
Yeah.
At this point, do we remember that the lizard is basically wearing a bowl of cloth wrapped around himself?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Emanuele, I don't think you have anything that we haven't seen before. Well, maybe not Ephixa, but...
Ephixa will just kind of blush and look away.
Mm-hmm.
So would Emanuele.
No, that's adorable. I say out loud.
I've never had to live in such conditions, but we will make do, right?
I mean, would you rather be alone for another assassin disguised as a lady breaking into your room while you're alone?
I'm not afraid, but from a tactical standpoint, it would be wise to, I guess, stay in a group as long as we are in unknown territory.
Whatever excuse butters your biscuit.
Especially when we know we're being hunted.
Well, another thing that I thought about while we're here, do we want to pick up some consecrate scrolls to take back with us whenever we eventually head back to Sandpoint to see if we could clear out a few evil areas?
It's a good idea. I don't think we're leaving yet, so it's probably...
No, I know. We're in no rush, but I was just making a note just in case if it somehow slips my mind on our way out.
It does kind of suck that I can't have my cats around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be something to talk to the people in charge about.
Consecrate wouldn't be too expensive, but I recall there being another higher level spell we didn't have the time for that.
like Hallow or something.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Hallow's 5th level, and that seems that's a
Overkill.
lot more expensive. So
I will
sure.
say you do know that all it would take is a consecrate to get rid of anything you've come across so far. Like, for instance, the Haunted Mansion, you could probably clear that out with a good consecrate.
What about the shrines under?
Both of those would be. You knew. I do remember you rolling on the altars of Lamash too.
Mm-hmm.
The way to purify those is with a consecrate spell, followed by holy water being poured into the unholy water to cleanse it.
Okay. And what about the that one wellspring that's under there that the Mephit kept pulling stuff from?
That is, you guys made that dormant. You don't know of a way to turn that off permanently, but you do know it seems to feed on the rage of people within a certain vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a long time to fill up, and you kind of drained it. But otherwise, you don't know how to destroy it.
So it's fueled by rage. So what we need to do is we need to find a high druid and load up on some snurb.
What's snurb?
Oh man, you are not from a city.
Yeah, something peeks in your head, Emanuele, about during the day you had like snurb. That sounds so familiar.
It smells the same.
I love that snurb from our very first game has become a multiverse concept.
Yeah.
Yep, it better be in Starfinder too, Loki.
Because I think I made an offhand joke about that in my setting too.
Yeah. It was just so like passive and amusing that it just kind of stuck in all our brains.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my high druid that I'm gonna play as a player one day in one of our APs when I play a druid.
I would be disappointed, especially since I know that if you want to try out an occult class, there is the Psychedelia Psychic, which is literally just do drugs, get powers.
I might have to take a look at that one too then.
We finished the AP and turns out it was just a hallucination all along.
I'm already a horrible person and made a character for Carrying Crown, so.
Yep.
Well, it's easy to get ahead of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You know when you get that thing in that itch in your head, you're like, I need to make this character now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you retire for the night. If I know you're taking watches, go ahead and everyone can just roll perceptions during the night to see if they hear anything or keep an eye on things.
All right.
Is there anybody on second shift with me, or is it just Fix?
I mean, we could always condense shifts if you want to share first shift.
No, I was
gonna say let's just do it in order. Lucilla will be on shift 1 by herself since it just makes it easier, and then it'll be double up Ris'sh and Ephixa, and then Gogmert and Emanuele on last shift. Mm-hmm. Keep the bromance alive, you know.
There you go.
Well, Emanuele never volunteered for a shift. Y'all had never said anything, but now that we're all talking about it and we're in the same room and y'all can point out the fact that he's not taking one, he'll do a stupid shift.
That seems right. He's too groggy to really pay too much attention.
I hope he did the wet sock thing.
He did, but it was very cold, so he took them off.
Weakness.
So, during the night, nothing. You don't get accosted by anyone. Mm-hmm. Gogmert, during the tail end of the night, you're getting bored. Just kind of watching around the room that you're in, and you're kind of just poking your head out the window that's nearby. It's just it's like a porthole size window, and you're kind of looking out, and you see just every now and then you'll see
stuck.
Yeah, every now and then you'll see like a drunkard kind of walking by and stuff. And then you see a man kind of cloaked walking by and kind of look up at your window. You can't make out all the features from this far away as he's beyond your dark vision range, but you do notice distinct elven ears. And kind of looks up, kind of tucks his hood a little bit more over himself, and walks away.
Okay. I'm going to send my eagle out. And I'm gonna follow him using empathic link.
Roll me a perception for your eagle.
His
And
perception.
I'll make sure this character is in GM layer because I don't want you to see the name reveal.
Ah, darn.
Yeah, you seem to follow. You follow him for a little while. He goes down the pathway here and begins making his way into the area over this way. Before
The area over where?
it should be on the map. You can kind of see the arrow pointed. Let me shift click. So he kind of comes down like this, if you can see the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
But then he doubles back, and that's when you lose sight of him.
Got it. Alright, I'll bring the eagle back.
And the rest of the night passes without issue. Emanuele, you notice Gogmert kind of gets this glazy-eyed look for a good 20 minutes, but then he's back to normal.
He would inform everyone when they wake up about that guy. Tell him everything he knows, which isn't much.
We've seen him do the empathic link, right?
Yeah.
So he would know. And that he would become more attentive to make sure that his buddy doesn't get attacked. Or, I mean, the small one who needs protecting.
Can't be friends with a goblin. What would Daddy think?
Weakness.
No, he's from Malthun, so he's actually probably more open-minded to
I mean, I
races
read
than-
about Malthun. I'm not sure if you read the same Malthun I did.
Yeah, they have they invite all races to come and fight for them.
Fight and die for them, not necessarily be buddies.
And plus,
Yeah.
they have slaves, you know.
Well, only certain races are slaves.
Goblins aren't good listeners, so they don't make good slaves. But anyway,
Can't remember if the goblins are slaves there. Is it just halflings?
mostly just halflings.
Okay.
There are
Yeah.
humans, I think, too, but it's a lot of halflings.
Halflings are slaves in a lot of places.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I picked Andoran, because they're the second largest population behind humans, and they're also very much not slaves there. They live quite comfortable lives.
Yeah, you wake up, you all get informed about this weird elven individual kind of staring at your window. And yeah.
Is there anything I remember about Piku that would stand out?
Roll me
Tall.
roll me a flat either intelligence or wisdom check. Whichever's higher for you. The way he's describing this individual, it was definitely a lot taller than Pico is. Pico still has the body type of somebody who's 13 or 14 tops. This was a grown man. Yeah, because full-blooded elves growing up, they're gonna outlive any humans they grew up with very fast.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, Emanuele's 20 and he's a man, but Piku's still kind of like a child.
Yep.
Is that something that Emanuele tells us about in character?
Imagine being 14 for 40 years.
Just find a ghost; they'll age you up 30 years in a jiffy.
I'm just saying it's weird that a 500-year-old was hanging out with a 12-year-old like they were peers.
Well, it would appear that the relationship is that of a teenager to the child. They get to do whatever the hell they want to amuse them.
Well,
now I'm just kind of curious. What age do elves consider the adult version of? So their equivalent of 16 is 110 or 114.
Mhm.
So yeah, Probably an 80-year-old elf kid.
Weird.
It's really weird when you start thinking about the sheer logistics of how society would develop with that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the way I hear most people do it is they keep the immaturity of being that age, but they also keep learning and gaining the experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're acting like a wizened old man when they're.
Well, that's why I was trying to portray him as a kind of a rebellious young teen elf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take random drugs because I can, because Daddy said I can't.
I still got 80 years until I'm even old enough to fuck.
Well, I just remember
Whoa.
playing the rat folk Dr. Chrysor Bane, and he was upper middle age to rat folk, which means he was 14, and everyone kept calling him old man Chrysor and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you're just being funny, Daddy, old man," and he was by far and away the youngest person in the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was 12 or something, right?
Yeah, he was 12 or 14, and that's upper middle aged for rat folk.
I will say, by the way, speaking of rat folk,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna, anytime I have a game where I have it in a big city, rat folk aren't actually hated that much in Galarian.
No, they're
largely accepted in a lot of places. Maybe not in small towns, but if you the beginning of a campaign starts in a big city, I'll allow rat folk easily and as one of the available options without having to ask.
Oh yeah,
which is strange because were rats are not.
Yeah.
No, but actual rat folk, I was reading about them a while back. I can't remember where I found it, but it was actually an official source. Yeah, people are fine with rat folk most of the time because most of the time they just live in the places other the humans and stuff don't want to live in their cities and just clean up the mess.
Yeah, and they do lots of trading, sometimes by coin, but often just by barter and swapping. I remember I read a little flavor thing from an official Pathfinder book of some street gang hoodlums following some rat folk merchant back to their neighborhood with the intent of robbing them for their stuff. And they went into the little underground warren, and they thought they were being stealthy, but then they walked in and the torches came on, and there was just hundreds of rat folk waiting for them. And then they all threw tanglefoot bags at them. 100 tanglefoot bags, and then the next day they wheeled them out to market and haggled for the ransom price with their families to sell them back to their families. And that's when I decided to play Micken.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, no, we're not going to kill you, but we're willing to haggle on the ransom price.
So what's on the agenda for the party today?
Well, we got a shop to visit, don't we?
Yeah, the device one.
The
one that made the cages, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know how much of a lead that'll be, considering cages probably not much of an underground market, but
it's worth
before
Hugs contraptions, right?
Yeah.
I honestly think before we go poking around the city with so many rules and regulations that we really ought to introduce ourselves to the mayor, get to know the government, and get some special permissions on our investigations.
I need to pick up my shield, by the
I
way.
agree. I want to have my cats with me.
Emanuele, could you do me a quick favor though?
It depends.
Well, I might be crazy, but I think I see a spot on your hand right there.
Where?
When you look up to your hand, I just push it to your face.
Very cute.
That's a hell of a jump.
We're sitting at a table. Besides, you just need to grab the elbow. Emanuele, how tall?
I don't think he's overly tall.
Yeah, and I'm 3 foot even if I remember correctly, so arms overhead. Listen, I understand the inclination to always go and talk to the mayor and stuff like that, but I don't know. Rubbing elbows with the upper crust often just brings too much attention. We got incognito mode right now. We need to hit the streets. We need to see what it is at ground level, not try to get all official with this business. We're smart. We're clever. We can figure this stuff out.
That sounds very...
What can I do to get more incognito?
What can he do?
That's she's asking that
Yeah.
aloud.
Yep.
She would kind of try to muss her hair to kind of cover her ears a bit, which probably just looks weird.
Well, no, I just mean we don't have to be spotted by like inability to have our names going around town and stuff like that. There's lots of other people, you know.
Look, I can't tone this down. There's going to be no way for me to hide this. In fact, probably half the city already knows I'm here. So I have another suggestion. How about I go and be the face to the mayor? Go ahead and make an introduction, get some permissions there. You do your street groveling and get what information you can that way, and we'll attack this from both sides. Classic pincher move.
Listen, Emanuele, I'm not going to stop you from doing anything, obviously, but I just want to let you know you're my friend, and regardless of what you think, I do care about you. I just don't want to see you get your feelings hurt if people don't immediately know who you are.
No, that just gives me an opportunity to introduce myself.
Okay, but just don't drink anything.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that. That's sad. In a way.
Well, who's going to come with me to go look at a cage shop?
I will, if you don't mind, take a quick detour to the place where I could pick up my shield.
Nope, it's fine. Maybe there's a Iona stone shop over there.
I didn't say there was a lot of magical shops in that area.
Yes, could be a good stop.
What's your read, Gogmert?
I'm down to go look at some magical stuff. Is that what Ephixa said?
So it's group, party cooperativeness, and then group Emanuele nobility talk.
This is going to go very poorly for him. I am very sad.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Or I could go off with Emanuele again. Try to
Hey,
get the cats back.
I might get our buddies back.
Yeah, that's probably what Gogmert's going to do.
Okay. Team bromance and the rest. So we'll start
we just divided down gender lines, didn't we?
Yeah, that too.
Oh God, and we're the ones going shopping. Fuck.
And scene.
Oh, man.
As long as we don't have a fashion montage.
No.
So you pass this really nice dress shop.
Fix puts the gown that she already had half drawn from her pouch back in.
I swear to God, Fix, if you're making friendship bracelets secretly, I will take off your hand.
I wasn't, but now I might.
Oh, no.
But yeah, you were able to pick up your shield easily. Yeah, there is a shop that sells exclusively ion stones.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a name on it, but it just has a picture of a bag with 2 stones in it with a hand underneath tickling it.
Oh, God.
Son of a bitch.
Inside, you're like, welcome to Stoned. How can I help you? And yes, I just made that up because it was funny.
Yep. That's what my first thought would have been as well.
Mm.
Well, the sign, I was going to go with His Majesty's coin purse, but
I like that better. Welcome to Your Majesty's coin purse. How may I help you? But yeah, you can buy anything within the price limit of ion stones.
All right. What's striking your fancy, Ris'sh? I got the torch, so maybe get you set up with something for that wayfinder you got. I'm looking at the list. Assume anything that gives an attribute bonus. We're just skipping.
Yeah, if you any of the ones that give you a bonus enhancement to like charisma or whatever, you'll just re-roll that. So anything below like an 8 or below, you'll re-roll.
Mm.
Like for the resident powers of the Wayfinder, the actual items, you could get them, but they won't infer any extra bonuses.
You get
I will say if they don't give any bonuses because they're just they would normally just be a plus something.
Mm-hmm.
You can just knock off like half the price because if they don't, they're not going to be able to technically be a thing with the automatic progression. I'm not going to charge you an arm and a leg for them.
You get a Tourmaline Sphere. Treats your Constitution scores 2 higher for negative hit points needed to cause death. That's 1,000 gold. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I've got.
You also get the cracked varieties.
The money I've got at the moment, it's a little short of what I want to spend, but.
I mean, how much? I got a little cash. I don't mind spotting you in character.
I was thinking of picking up, since we had that laugh about the possibility of using Magic Missile as up to 5 trip attempts. I was going to look for a rod of whatever that meta magic was.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Those start at $3,000, and I've only got 2,500.
There's always the cracked incandescent blue sphere that just gives you a +1 bonus on a wisdom skill check. It's not really a bonus that's on the automatic progression. That's only 200.
Yeah.
I mean, of all those, there's a cracked clear spindle, which sustains a creature with half the normal food and water. A normal one, they can sustain themselves without food or water, which is pretty great for 4,000.
Yeah, there's quite a few that are the cracked ones that are pretty cheap.
Yeah, there's good ones all around. What was that?
Cracked scarlet and blue sphere, which is a +1 bonus on intelligence-based skill, like one of them.
For 400 gold pieces, you could get a cracked dark blue rhomboid, which is +1 competency bonus on perception and sense motive.
Mm.
And then with whatever you get, that's 400 gold pieces.
Yeah, that might be good.
Perception and sense motive are always useful.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and mark that down, and let's see what
The
fates
wheel
say.
of random.
27.
Wayfinder Needle points to the nearest Tiefling or other part human outsider within 30 feet.
Hey, it parts the fix then.
Yeah.
if we're dealing with shapeshifters.
Mm-hmm. At least we'll know one of us is who we say we is.
You want anything fixed? It's not you don't have a Wayfinder, but you can still use one of these things.
Yeah, I'm kind of strapped for cash after getting the shield.
Alright. So what are the odds do you think Gogmert and Emanuele end up killing the mayor?
Meanwhile,
I teed that one up.
Yep.
Elsewise, somewhere.
Yep. You make your way toward. You ask around, and it's easy to find out. It's known as the Pediment Building. I don't know what number it is. Oh, 19. So this one right here. It's a impressively large gray stone building, complete with stern-faced gargoyles and grim judge statues. It is home to the Justice Court, the Halls of Virtue, each one with a different judge, personalized audience hall. They interpret Magnimar's laws, but in particular here, Lord Mayor Haldmir Grobaris holds court. You are actually seen in, surprisingly. They do make you wait a little bit, as is tradition with any kind of nobility or any kind.
Really, really quick, Richard. I just wanted to say that on the walk there, Gogmert would float the idea to Emanuele about contacting the museum's patron. He would tell him about all the interesting artifacts he saw in there. And he would float the idea of contacting the museum's patron and seeing if they could arrange some kind of deal for any artifacts we find on our adventures.
Which museum?
What's it called?
I know we went in the menagerie.
Founders Archive and Museum of Ages.
Okay. Well, something to keep in mind. We'll see how this initial meeting goes.
Yeah, and then you can continue on, Richard.
No, good. But yeah, you're actually seen in relatively quick compared to what you would have expected. Lord Mayor Grobaris is a very pudgy individual. He immediately strikes you as the kind of self-serving politician that we've all seen in real life too many times.
Mm-hmm.
But he's wearing the finest Chilaxian fashions that have come out in the recent years. Numerous chains and rings grace his presence. The chains themselves are almost distracting from his numerous chins. He has a usher that is in the process of fanning him, and you see him. He's very nervous right now, even without a sense motive. He's like, "You wanted to see me?" And like I heard about, and he's like, I heard about the guards talking about newcomers, and you matched the description of the ones that brought in the snake, right? So your adventurers as a whole, yes?
Well, yes. Your keen eye has detected us, but we're more than adventurers. Right now, we're investigators. My name is Emanuele Depardieu, and it goes without saying you must be Lord Mayor Grobaris.
Nice to see an adventurer that has a air of class within him. Yes, I am Lord Grobaris, and you speak of being an investigator. Yes, that's exactly what I need. It's like you were sent from the heavens above to aid me.
Small gleam from his teeth as he smiles. Yes, we might have been. My companions and I may be able to help you, but we also need a little bit of help from you.
Yes, saying that I have not heard the end of in my life. Yes, but tell me, what are you investigating? He's
Well,
leaning forward in his chair.
Lord Mayor Grobaris, murders.
He slaps his hand on his chair, and you see the wine glass that was in it pops and splashes and cracks and shatters on the ground. It's exactly the murders of good, honest merchants. And just from hearing people talk in the tavern, all the merchants that have been killed have been greasy as fuck. Hard-working politicians murdered in cold blood and their bodies ravaged. I could be next. I am hiring you to investigate this.
Excellent. I think that is a wise decision. A beautiful city, metropolis such as this cannot go and run without those who grease the wheels and keep it moving.
You see, you speak my language. The guards can't handle this simple task. They clearly are incompetent. I clearly had to find someone like you. You speak so well and so eloquently. What is your name? He knows your name. He's
yes,
where are you from?
Again, Emanuele Depardieu of Malthune, the great new country. I am the son of my Lord General Father, who has sent me here and to other great metropolises to spread the word of Malthune and create these types of diplomatic relationships where we could learn from one another and become friends in future endeavors.
He's
I was raised in the capital city, son and heir to the leadership role.
Yes, I feel this town or the city could have use for you. Yes, and he quickly writes something on a piece of paper. He has someone fetch him, and he snaps his fingers and the person brings it over to you, and it's like a writ of permission, basically to investigate through the town. And with how fast he wrote, yeah, this was pre-written. It seems like roll me a sense motive.
He's been looking for a pansy.
No,
Yeah,
you're
Patsy.
I will
fine.
have. Can I have Gogmert roll one? since
Oh yeah,
he's
for sure.
Present.
Sure.
But he's just kind of standing behind Emanuele at this point. He's letting him take over the show. Especially since this guy seems to like well-spoken folks.
Yep.
Hey,
It
you have
just
your
wasn't
free
meant to be.
hero point, right? The temporary
Yeah.
hero point.
Yeah, let's go. One more roll.
It's
Sin-
one.
Also, if those were reversed, that would have
14.
been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14's enough. Yeah, this is clearly not the first person he's deputized to investigate these murders, and Emanuele's probably not going to be the last. It looks like he's very nervous about being killed himself. Which, going from what you've heard about people being killed, are being a little bit more on the not quite legal side of merchandising, and you probably guessed that he's not the most honest of individuals. But anyway, Emanuele, you completely trust this guy. You think he is on your wavelength.
Absolutely. Lord Mayor Grobaris, is it too much to ask that we be permitted to have our investigating companions with us? Those are specifically trained animals.
Give me a diplomacy for that one.
Bluff?
I should have cast enhanced diplomacy.
I'll
on
say
you.
this is diplomacy for this one.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah,
have
I
a
didn't think-
reusable hero point if you need it, but yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
so he's like, I think that's acceptable. He's like, come, and he like snaps his fingers to somebody, and this time he actually takes the time to write out a full note that basically says you have permission to bring your animals into the city. It does say that you can't leave them alone, so basically you have to keep them with you at all times, and they can't, like, you're still gonna have to return them to the stables during the night. Is essentially what it's saying. Like
Certainly.
if you were to retire to an inn or something, you're not gonna be able to take them into the inn. Is more
That's
or less.
very reasonable, and I assure you they're very well trained and will help us search out and capture those who are performing these foul deeds.
Mhm.
Now, as far as entering into your service, as we began our conversation, we spoke of me helping you and you possibly helping me. Our great country of Malthun is in need, once all of these hideous murderers have been captured, is in need of those that you might not need in your city anymore, those who have skills with weapons and arms, perhaps have been sent to maybe your prisons or work camps. But Malthun is going through a time of war and needs those who are good with swords. And they do not question at this point where they come from.
Prisoners, you say? I might be able to work something out.
Well, we will talk on it at another time then. I have your word. Yes?
Yes. Please, go and quickly solve and find these murderers. I cannot stress how important this is.
Indeed, I think we understand. Oh, and also, in our investigations, trivial note, we ran into this in Sandpoint, but we stumbled upon historical items. Would your museum here, if we find them again, be interested in purchasing such items?
You could probably always bring them to the museum, and it is run by a variety of wealthy aristocrats that use it as their personal showcase. I'm sure many of them will be happy to buy.
At this point, Gogmert. Actually, no, never mind.
Never mind.
What was that?
I was just gonna ask if there was a curator, but then I thought, and I don't think Gogmert would really know what that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would know that.
Well, if the time does come, perhaps you could put in a good word for us with the person who runs the museum.
Well, there's a few people who handle day-to-day operations, but largely it's official official member that runs everything isn't always in town. It is a Pathfinder known as Dr. Aparna. She frequently wanders region-wide to find objects to bring back to the city.
Understood. That's good calls for her role. Well, maybe just an introduction to whomever is there at the time. We'll see.
Very well. Yes, no, be off with you. I have many manners to attend to.
Yeah,
Indeed, Lord Mayor.
as we leave the manor and we get out of earshot and kind of into the wider crowd of the city, Gogmert will say, "You should have told me while we were at my tribe. I'm sure after our crusade against the Licktoads and the other goblin tribes, we'll have plenty of prisoners I can offer you."
Yeah, we could talk about that. The thing is, in Malthun, the army really needs those who are good at following orders.
Oh, goblins are exceedingly good at following orders once you put them in their place. Did you see how well they all fell in line when I showed back up?
Mm-hmm.
And then we flash back over to the other group real quick. Before we end, you will go into... You are out... At this point, you're on the outskirts of Pug's Contraptions. It's a small building. It looks like just like a locksmithy kind of place.
Well then, shall we?
That's
After
why
you.
we're here.
Inside, it is just an innocuous little tinker shop. Pug himself is a rather rotund man with an upturned nose. Very lives up to the name. Zach, you looking to buy something?
In a sense, out of character, just a quick refresher. So, we are here because the former Lord of Foxglove Manor had someone buy the rat traps for him, right?
Yeah. You found them in the manor, and they're relatively new cages, which means that they were most likely bought by Alder and Foxglove. And so you were led to believe that they might know where he lived here because you did see a thing about his townhouse, but you don't know where that is.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, we are coming because we are associates of Aldern Foxglove. We were hoping to go by his townhouse here, but we were failed to be given an address. Though we do know that from interactions in Foxglove Manor that he had purchased cages for his rat problem there from you. So we were wondering if perhaps you had the address that those cages were forwarded to here in Magnimar.
Go ahead and roll me a bluff.
I would like to argue diplomacy, considering I said we were associates, which we were.
And you were saying it was very clearly a bluff.
Fine, I don't have much in there.
I know you don't, but I'm like...
Well, I'm trying.
So when you say that, he's like, looks at you, like kind of like examining you. He's like, he puts his hand on his chin. He's like, "Well, I did sell him some bird cages. I didn't know that they were for rats, but I mean,
Really?
yeah. For the address, though, I don't know if I should." And he kind of like looks out the window and he kind of holds his hand down and kind of makes that like I'm rubbing two coins together motion.
It's the universal sign of bribe me.
I put 10 gold coins on the counter.
You see those coins disappear rather quickly, and he kind of still looking out the windows like, I'm sorry, I just don't think I can give you that information. He's still doing the rubbing motion.
I elbow Ris'sh and fix. Come on.
Yeah,
I'll throw it at him.
How much more do you give him?
I was thinking Ris'sh was going to hit him with a fireball.
6 will cost 6 gold pieces.
Same as before. He pulls them away, and then he's still making the motion.
I'll just put down a platinum.
And that's worth 10 gold, right?
Yeah.
Yep. After that, he's like, okay, well, here it is. And he writes down this address and hands it to you. I was like, well, this has been a pleasant exchange, I think. Would you be interested in any of my cages? Any of the locks?
Is this guy just horseshitting us, or did he give us the actual thing? So that's motive 27.
He actually did write down the actual address.
Mhm.
It looks like he was looking for a significant bribe, though, and you finally managed to put him over that mark. Yeah, that's about 26 gold worth of a bribe. That's a pretty hefty bribe.
Yep.
But yeah, his townhouse. Let me just double check where it is. Oh no, wrong tab. Is in the Naus district. It is right around this area.
Gotcha.
And I will say eventually you guys I'll say you guys made a meetup place to meet up after you guys did your respective investigations.
I mentioned maybe in this square here or something like that, or by one of these statues.
Yeah, that's fair. You meet up and you share the information you've gotten. By then, I imagine the animal companions are with you. You get a few stares. A couple guards come up, but you flash them the paper, and then they just let you on about your business. And you begin to make your way towards the Foxglove townhouse. And as you do, we end the session with the camera panning out and the scenery just flashing past us, miles and miles and miles, hundreds of miles, and we flash into a nighttime scene. A crackling bonfire, popping with the sounds of cooking meat. The camera goes from the fire and kind of zooms outward until you can see the full fire, and it starts to focus on an individual behind the fire. The camera going forward into the full vision of Emanuele's father. His eyes gleaming gold as he holds a sword, just in its pommel, just kind of fingering the hilts, with another hand kind of holding something on a stick into the fire. The camera again zooms out to reveal that he is sitting astride a massive serpent. To compare it to Juan, it is easily double the length and twice as wide.
Damn it, Dad.
And then it zooms in on
so easy.
It zooms in on the head of the snake that is currently in the process of swallowing something. And you can't see all of it, but you can clearly see 2 human legs sticking out of the mouth as it's doing that thing where it's kind of swallowing the last bit. As his father pulls out the stick that he had in the fire to reveal a human hand being cooked. He kind of looks at it, the gold gleaming in his eyes again. He's like, not quite done, as he sticks it back into the fire. And as the camera finally zooms out to the entire view, you see a Varisian caravan, 3 or 4 wagons, but there are bodies slumped over on the sides of the wagon. Through the fabric of the wagons, the horses slaughtered mercilessly, not a voice crying out amongst the bodies, as he just sits astride this serpent as a makeshift throne as he stares into the fire, and in the center of his now golden eyes shine a 7-pointed star.
Daddy.
Bum, bum, bum.
Mm-hmm. Good session.
Mm-hmm.